This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out in Barrio the Frost. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
Welcome to Keeping It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Jeremy Donovan here, alongside the young boy Josh Smith. On today's show, we'll be discussing nights 8 through 10 of the G1 Climax 28, as well as covering all the latest news in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can support our show and the network by subscribing on the podcast app of your choice and leaving a rating and review. You can also get all the podcasts and columns at socialsuplex.com. Go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe to sign up to get the podcast and columns delivered directly to your email inbox. Also, make sure to check out our friends at purerezuroad.com. Mike Grindle and John Jerusalem have A and B block midpoint assessments and recommended matches up on the front page of that site. So if you are cherry picking the G1, that is a great resource to check out some of the recommended matches. All right, Josh, we're about halfway into G1 Climax 28.
We're 11 nights in.
Yeah.
But it's Monday. And we're only covering nights 8 through 10. Now, there's a good reason for this, ladies and gentlemen. I just want everybody to know I am the dedicated one on the Keeping It Strong Style team. I went to Jeremy and I said, hey, bro, look, there's another show Monday. I know, all of our hundreds and hundreds of fans across the world might not be able to hear us till Wednesday, but that's something I'm willing to risk. I was like, let's hold off till Tuesday. And Jeremy said, screw the fans, screw the fame, screw New Japan, screw Harold Mai, okay? He said, I'm going to SmackDown on Tuesday night. And I said, no! And then I said, did you get me a ticket?
Oh, man. Yes, I am going to the SmackDown Live tapings tomorrow night in Tampa, Florida.
But why?
Guys, I'm still fans of AJ Styles, Mojo, a lot of the guys on SmackDown.
Is there any big marquee matches happening this Tuesday? Anything you're looking forward to?
The Bar versus Usos in the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament.
They still got tag team wrestling in WWE? I thought they buried that crap. Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, it'll be fun regardless of whether or not it's an overall good show or not. I'm sure there'll be a few good matches in 205 Live. They've been having a lot of good matches after SmackDown.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're gonna be one of the few in the crowd. You might even be able to move down.
Yeah, right.
Get yourself a better seat, brother.
Yeah.
Where are you guys?
Section 102.
Okay, nice. Shout out to our boy Jeremy LeBoy.
Yeah, LeBoy. Yeah, me and him are gonna be going down there.
Yeah, Jeremy's one of the best in the world. Just like our boy Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
And that's not hyperbole, he really is.
No, he is, yeah.
Congrats. What, LeBoy just got a promotion or something like that?
Yeah, just got a promotion, and he has a baby that's going to be on the way in a couple weeks.
That's freaking dope. I'm trying to get promoted. But this, New Japan's just ruining my life. Go to work, my productivity's down, my numbers are down, I'm not saying people's names right. Sometimes I chop people.
Start calling people like Okada, like Goto.
I start ref bumping people, it's crazy. So yeah, and then so
we won't be covering night 11 this week. We'll be covering that next week.
Yeah, and you know what? But it's fine because I barely got through nights 8 through 10, and it has nothing to do with the quality. It has to do with me slacking. like for real slacking. Like Orange is the New Black season 6 came out.
Yeah. And not only that, you got a new mattress.
Oh my God, you guys. This mattress is for real. Every time I start trying to watch New Japan, because in my bedroom I don't have, like furniture. I just got like this mattress. So I'll be like chilling. I'm like, man, I'm really comfortable. This is going to be a really good New Japan session. New Japan and chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just me and chill. Like, like no one else. But then, like, two matches in, like I just fall asleep.
Out for the count.
Yeah. Like I'm like Suzuki got me in that, but
in sleeper, yeah.
And then he gotched me, and then that's it. But yeah, like I literally am having a tough time. Like I'm gonna have to start watching New Japan out here in the living room, like on the uncomfortable leather couches, because like that mattress is for real, bro.
5-star quality.
Bro, 7 stars.
7 stars.
Okay, for wrestling, there's only a 5-star max.
But for mattresses,
there's no cap.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been good, man. It's been good.
Plus this is kind of a crazy week too, because I mean there's a break tomorrow, but then there's another show right on Wednesday and Thursday. So regardless of when we recorded, we'd be kind of.
What was that? That was another 4 night, 8 nights 8, 9, 10, 11. We're all back to back.
No, it was 8, 9, 10. There was a break Sunday, and then a show today on Monday,
and then we're back Wednesday.
Yeah, then we're back on Wednesday. So regardless of when we recorded, we'd still be trying to catch up or be behind.
Well, I took a look at everything, and it looks like we got 2 more episodes covering the G1 after this. We got, next week's, and we'll be like right near the end. And then there's a, stretch of, A block finals, B block finals, and then, the G1 finals is, in 2 Sundays. And that's it. And then we're figuring out who's going to,
to Wrestle Kingdom.
No, to King of Pro Wrestling to defend their briefcase.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. And G1, it's been freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more positive. Yeah. A lot of our listeners last week were like, can you guys stop being so negative? And I was like, screw you guys. F everybody. F them. No, I'm just playing. No, we need to be more positive, have a better demeanor.
Well, we're covering a lot of great matches on this episode, so I think this will be a more positive show.
You thought so? I thought everything sucked.
Piss poor quality. Oh, man. So let's get started with night 8. The tournament matches kicked off with Hiroki Goto taking on Toru Yano. Goto beat Yano 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, so I guess they're still kind of trying to play slightly into the idea that the fair play, Yano's gonna stop cheating, but it's just escalated. It's like all out. Like after the Ibushi match, it's escalated. Like this dude, he's cheating.
Right. Well, he's kind of stuck in a hard place because he tries to wrestle clean and he's not winning. He cheats and he's not winning. So he's kind of like, what do I do here? So he does like a mix of both.
Yeah, I agree. So this was very enjoyable though, because he like immediately went after Goto, like right off the bat.
Right.
He tried every trick in the book, and then Goto just like was like, F this, hold this GTR, go to hell.
Yeah, spin kick, Saito suplex, Ushigoroshi, GTR. He hit like all his like
Ushigoroshi, shades of Hiroki Goto. Like the other day, I heard Kevin Kelly actually call. He's like Ushigoroshi, and I was waiting for someone to say shades of Hiroki Goto, but I was like, oh, but he's actually doing it.
Right. So Goto just pretty much hit all his like top moves and just beat Goto.
Yeah,
beat Yano.
Hit him with the 5 moves of doom, put him away. And I liked that because I was struggling to kind of get through the night. So I was like, yeah, give me match. Yeah, 2 minutes. F yeah. Heck yeah, let's do this. But with the story aspect of it, I thought it was very cool because Yano's whole entire arc is very enjoyable, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so seeing someone be like, you know what, this guy, he just beat freaking Ibushi. I'm gonna take this seriously. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good way to go. Like he sent him back.
Plus Goto needed a quick match after that banger he had with Ishii
You're right, and they said that on the commentary, and I thought that was great because they were like, man, this guy's got a lot of match time in this tournament. He gets a quick win, gets rid of a tough challenge, and he moves on.
Yeah,
and it's just good storytelling.
Yeah, good stuff. So next up we had Tetsuya Naito against Tama Tonga. What are your thoughts on this one?
For me personally, I would say that, in my opinion, this has been the most enjoyable Tama Tonga match of the tournament.
I agree with you. I tweeted that out. I was live tweeting for this show, and I was like, yeah, I think this is one of the best Tonga matches that I've seen the whole tournament.
How many retweets you get?
I got a few people that responded, but...
What were they saying? They're calling you an idiot?
No. There's people kind of liking and kind of agreeing.
Do people ever say, we've never gotten to the point where people are like, you guys suck?
No, we really haven't gotten any negative feedback.
Never.
I mean, last week was the closest thing to quote unquote negative, but people just said that we were being a little negative or harsh or whatever.
You know what it is? They're taking me to task was a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They're like, you're an idiot. Michael Elgin's only got 2 finishers. And I was like, sorry. And then they're like, you suck. You can't read good. There needs to be more blocks in the G1. I was like, I know, guys. I know. And then, it took me days to respond because, I'm really sensitive. So I just, I'm, basically Carmella at this point. Doing young boy vanity searches.
Yeah. What are they saying about me today? Oh my gosh, they hate me.
I see how many comments we have, and I'm like, we're over. And then I read the comments, I'm like, I'm under.
They're burying me.
Oh my god. Actually, you want to hear a funny story? So, a friend of mine, a friend of mine, she listened to the show, which Yeah.
Oh.
But she was she listened to the show, which usually I don't let any female friends. Why would they? It's freaking New Japan, and we're marks, and plus so yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so she listened to it, and she was like, your show's pretty good now, and she hates wrestling, hates it. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, you're funny. And I was like, what? And I was like, how? I was like, I don't, when I listen to our show, right, listeners, because we do listen to the show, because we're marks for ourselves.
Dude, I'm a big mark for myself. Dude, it's the first thing Tuesday morning. I'm a fan too. I'm listening to our show.
No, the real reason I listen to it is because I want to see where we suck, where we can improve, and then also I forget, bro. This is cathartic for me.
Dude, yeah, I forget.
I don't remember what we talk about. It's I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you're I'm gonna write it all down and I'm gonna send it to them. That'll show them, or I love you so much.
Yeah,
whatever. So you write it all down, and you get rid of it, and then it's just gone. Well, that's what it's like with New Japan. When we do this show, I literally don't remember. I either feel that show was good or that show sucked.
Yeah.
But I never really remember unless I listened to the show. But yeah, she told me I was the funny one, and she said we need to call this show, Talk as Young Boy.
The Young Boy Report.
Yeah. So bro, if this works out, might have a Mark girlfriend.
Dude.
You got to get a Mark girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mixed tag team match to the death.
Oh man.
Loser leaves the apartment.
Loser leaves the territory.
Yeah. And I'm booking.
I got creative control, pal.
AKA half the rent.
I got that Brock Lesnar contract.
But actually, that's me. I only show up when I want to here. I'm not even here half the time.
Oh man. So back to this Naito and Tama Tonga match. 10 minutes 46 seconds. Naito defeats Tama Tonga.
I'll say this. A couple things about the match. Yes, I think it's Tama Tonga's best match of the tournament. No, I don't think it's a great match. It was solid. I thought that the beginning started pretty hot.
Yeah.
Then in the middle, it was this is a regular Tama Tonga match. Then the ref bump happens and the whole thing heats up. And I was like, this is how you do ref bumps. I think I would have liked this more had they not been getting DQ'd the entire freaking tournament leading up to it.
Yeah, I think if they had like kind of paced themselves with the interference and the DQs, a lot of their interference stuff would come off better, especially here. Mm-hmm. So, Tonga, he reversed the Destino by throwing Naito into the ref. Then you had Tonga Loa come out for the run-in. Then Evil came out. Then Fale came out. Bushi came out. Spit the miss in Fale's face.
It was good to see some continuity between Bushi and
Fale. Their rivalry, yeah. And then he had a suicide dive on Loa. And then Naito hit an Enziguri. Tried a Destino, got Connor with a low blow. But then Naito returns a low blow and finishes things off with Destino.
Yeah, I think that at the end, this crowd in particular really, really liked the run-in stuff.
Yeah.
And it made more sense. I think we've talked about this before. Like, some of these guys are getting ran in on. And it's like, if you're watching tape and you know you're going to go up against Tama Tonga, and you're in a faction, everybody in New Japan's in a faction.
Right.
Why don't you got your boys on standby?
Right. Be like, yo, why don't you second me for this match? I
love seconds. Like,
Loa's gonna be out there. Fale is gonna be prowling around. Like, I need you out here,
bro. The old school wrestling fan in me, the 1970s, 1980s Puroresu fan in me, is like, why don't we see more seconds? And not only that, why aren't they in jumpsuits? I'm a big fan of seconds coming out in jumpsuits, but yeah, and it's funny. It's LIJ. Think about that.
Yeah, like Bushi, what are you doing back there? Like,
no, what I mean is, how many times have LIJ let this man Naito down this year?
Yeah, dude, LIJ is the worst.
They're the worst.
Naito got jumped by Jericho twice this year, and LIJ has just been like chilling. Yeah, took forever to come out.
If I was Naito, I would have had one of them second me to that match. Maybe I'd still have the IC title.
Right.
But yeah. So I mean, but all these other fools, they're wrestling Tama Tonga. They all got crews. None of them, got boys on standby. Naito's like, screw that. Bushi, get ready. Evil, get ready.
Yeah.
Where was Sonata?
Well, he had a match later on.
Nah, he's dead to me. He's not ride or die, bro.
Oh, man.
But yeah, this was very. I liked the ending. I also liked Naito low blowing Tama Tonga. I thought that was a nice little added touch. This dude's Tranquilo. I don't know.
Tranquilo.
I suck at Spanish. I'm literally Mexican and Puerto Rican, and I cannot speak Spanish. I can order food. That's about it.
That's the important thing, right?
Yeah, it is, especially here. Yeah. Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome. But yeah, I think it was good. Obviously, Naito's a guy that I think I can see going to the finals, maybe even winning the whole thing. So him getting this win here was necessary. I am kind of wondering though. I'm like, is Tama Tonga ready for a push after this, or what's going on? This guy's losing pretty much everything.
I know it's been a weird.
It is weird.
It's like a double push. It's like a push and not push at the same time. Because if you look at the undercard and the tag matches, God is undefeated right now in tag matches.
As such, they should be. They're former champions. They're a real established tag team.
Right. So as a tag unit, they're getting pushed. They're winning their tag matches quickly, and they're undefeated. But then you flop to the singles matches, and they're losing.
Yeah.
So it's really weird.
I will say this: the interferences from Tangaloa are getting better. They're not as obvious. He's getting better in that role. As weird as that sounds, in my opinion, I think they're getting more creative, doing things that are a little more less obvious, a little more subtle, until the big spot comes at the end where they blow up the match. But I was glad that this didn't end in a freaking DQ. So
at least we got to finish here.
We got to finish. For those of you, how many matches are they in now?
This was their, overall. Mm-hmm. I think they've all had 5 matches.
Okay, so just for everyone who's keeping record, Tama Tonga's record right now is 0-5. What I mean by that, I'm not talking about his match win versus losses. I'm talking about great match counter 2018. Tama Tonga 0-5. Will we get one in this tournament? This was probably a pretty good opportunity for it, right?
Yeah. He's had, Omega, Sonata, He just wrestled Naito. Like,
Who's he got left? Ibushi?
He's also wrestled Ibushi.
Ishii?
Ishii.
Well, those are two guys to have bangers with, but I bet I want to see both of them like F this dude up. Has he wrestled Goto yet? Are those like his last three?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, he's screwed, bro. So, moving on, we got Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre
Jr.
Pro Wrestling Master.
Yes, ZSJ.
Hey, hot take.
Yeah.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. should definitely, and not even like, oh, maybe, I think definitely at this point, he needs to be in the running for our Carl Gotch Strong Style Wrestler of the Year award. And, you know, we, a lot of like modern fans, when we think about strong style, we think about your Ishiis, your Suzukis, the guys that are out here just freaking brutalizing people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But there's a philosophical aspect to what strong style is supposed to be, and nobody, outside of maybe Suzuki, nobody in New Japan exemplifies strong style in the philosophical sense the way that Zack Sabre is. Not only that, he's having bangers all tournament.
Yes, he is.
And he is wrestling a freaking hard style.
Yeah, I mean, this was another banger here.
Yes.
Ishii. And again, with Sabre style, you would think it wouldn't mesh with Ishii styles, but their styles, they come together perfectly. You know, we saw them wrestle live WrestleMania weekend at Rev Pro,
Great
and
match.
That was a great match.
It's on New Japan World if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and so just seeing the rematch here.
You can probably see us. We're the ones in the red shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great match here, matchup between these two guys here.
This is their fourth match.
Yeah.
They wrestled last year during the G1 tournament in the U.S. for the G1 special in USA.
Yep.
They wrestled again last year on the final night of the G1 last year, and then they had the rubber match in
New Orleans.
We were there, and now this is their fourth match, and you
got the tag team stuff.
Yeah, the tag team stuff's been awesome.
Ishii and Okada against Suzuki and Sabre.
And when you talk about opponents that are in my top like 5 of Zack Sabre, Ishii's in that list, man, because they've never had a bad match. They've never had a match that wasn't great.
Yeah.
And this is a great one.
Well, Ishii, he's just one of the MVPs in this tournament right now.
I think like aside from the win-loss, like he's one of the MVPs.
Well, as far as match quality,
he might be the guy.
All of his matches have been 4 stars and above.
Not the Yano match.
Except the Yano match.
But yes, I see and even that was probably one of the best Yano matches of the tournament.
Right.
Although Zack Sabre's having a really good tournament.
He is too, yeah. So
this match was, I don't know if it was my favorite of the night. I'm trying to remember if it was or not, but if it wasn't, it was right there basically.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, the main event was very good. The main event was very good.
Yeah.
But I think personally, just because of my style of fandom, I think I like the Ishii Zack Sabre match better. Personally.
Yeah.
Although if someone made an argument for the main event, we'll get to it. I really wouldn't be that surprised. Like, I'm not going to argue over it, but I loved this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's another great match. A lot of hard strikes back and forth between these guys. Ishii with several headbutts. Zack playing submissions, kicks, PKs, European uppercuts. They go towards the end of the match. Ishii blocks a small package. Sabre tries, he tries with a brainbuster. Sabre escapes, looks for the Zack driver. Ishii hits a headbutt, but Sabre counters, locks on a triangle. Ishii fights. He starts to fade. He fire-ups one last time, but ZSJ keeps the hold on, and Ishii taps out, which is crazy. Especially in commentary, they were like, I don't think I can ever recall Ishii tapping out, and here we go.
Yeah. A lot of, you know what, one of my things with Ishii, and we've said it before, I've heard people like all throughout this tournament, different commentators, podcasters, fans talk about how great certain guys are at selling, like Goto, Omega, different things like that, and those are valid points. I'm not taking that away, but for my money, the best seller in New Japan Pro Wrestling is Ishii.
Yes. Because a lot of people like to say, oh, he no-sells. At certain points, yes, he will no-sell a move, but majority of the match, he does sell.
he doesn't no-sell in the sense of like he's doing an Ultimate Warrior or a Sting power-up where he's going to power through the moves and then, work his big Hogan comeback spot. No, what happens is he takes mad punishment, powers through it, takes more punishment, and then all of a sudden he starts bumbling.
I know, it's like in the Ibushi match, he would take a big kick to the chest, but then he'd close on Ibushi and then he would go back to selling the chest.
Yeah. And in this match, he was killing Zack Sabre.
Oh, yeah.
There was times where he had Zack against the ropes and he was doing that chop, forearm
combo. I love that combo.
I do too. I really, really, really dug this match. I thought him and Zack worked really well together. One thing that also sold me and has been selling me is when Ishii gets in these submission holds and he gets tied up in ways that the body looks like it shouldn't be getting tied up.
Yeah.
He finds a way to get the ropes, and it is so dramatic the way he does it. Like, because his legs really aren't that long, so he's stretching.
Right. He's got that short, stocky body, so
my God.
He doesn't have the length like other guys do getting to the ropes.
For a dude that you're not used to seeing put in like a emasculated sort of position like that, for him to like have to struggle, and then when he gets up, he's pissed and he beats the snot out of Zack Sabre. These guys are just gold, man. Gold. This match, high recommendation. I really, really, really liked it. And then I lost my mind when Ishii tapped.
Dude, that was a wild moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like seeing Cena tap out.
It's New Japan though, so we've talked about this in previous episodes, but people can tap out. People can get knocked out. People can get ref stopped. It happens, and guess what? They come back the next night, they keep ticking. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't get buried. They're not getting de-pushed. It's sports. People lose. On this night, Zack was the better wrestler. Right. He didn't cheat either.
And these guys they've kind of gone back and forth in their rivalry, so we've seen them both take punishment from each other and beat each other, and we both know, depending whoever the better man on that night, either one of them could lose.
This match needs to be for the junior title. I'm kind of joking because they're both in the heavyweight division and fans think of them as heavyweights, but this could easily be
a Bennett Jr. match because of both of their weights, yeah.
For lofty dreams that are never going to occur in our lifetime, I'm going to keep pushing for this Ishii Jr. run until he is remembered as the greatest junior title. Liger who? Dragon who? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Screw those guys. It's about Ishii. It's
about the Stone Pitbull.
It's about the Stone Pitbull, the greatest junior heavyweight champion in IWGP history. And it starts with his dismantling of Zack Sabre Jr., that skinny little wimp. No, Zack was great in this match, man. Yeah. For if we got listeners who are still not sold on this guy,
I don't know how.
The Sonata match. I know how. You're not watching him. It's like those people who don't like the Young Bucks because they're spot monkeys and all this
because
crap.
They see the gifts and they're like, oh, they do too many flips and too many super kicks. It's like, bro, if you watch a Young Bucks match from start to beginning, you will see how great their matches are. How great it's selling, psychology, just a flow of match.
I got this man started on the fucking...
dude, you know me, I love me some Young Bucks.
This was great. And Zack Sabre picks up 2 very desperately needed points. I think he's been down so far in the tournament, so... Great match, and that brings us to Juice Robinson and Kenny.
Yeah, speaking of a guy who's desperate for points, Juice Robinson, the IWGP US champion.
Let's start off with some bad predictions, okay? So I keep taking a lot of credit for talking about how I kind of thought that Jay White would be the MVP of the A block, and I did say that. But one thing I keep forgetting to mention to our fans and listeners, when we got posed that same question and I said who I thought would be the dude in B block, I started to say Juice, but then I took it back and I said Tama Tonga. Both of those things were pretty much wrong.
Well, at least...
Not only that, I also predicted a Juice victory here. What were you going to say? At least I what?
At least Juice is having good matches.
He is. Is this dude going to have bad matches?
No.
Nah.
So, yeah, we have Juice Robinson and Kenny Omega here. Juice walked into this match 0-3. No points. He beat Omega last year in the G1, which was a big upset victory, and he got a U.S. title match against Omega after that.
Yep.
So the kind of the story here was, well, would he be able to pull the miracle out again and beat Kenny like he did last year?
You know what's funny? Juice and Yoshihashi, those are like two guys who like their big signature G1 wins are both over Kenny Omega. Mm-hmm. It's like that's their shining moments, you know, in tournament history. And they were hoping maybe Juice could do it again. I mean, he, like you said, he desperately needed the win here. And this match was very good. This was a good night. I mean, just another B block night that was good. You know, the Ishii match with Zach, and then we got this Juice Kenny match. Very different types of matches, but I liked that Kenny went after the hand.
Oh yeah. No mercy, man.
Kenny's been doing some like heel tactics, and I don't know if you noticed, like Goto's doing heel tactics.
Yeah.
Naito. I mean, Naito's not a pure babyface, but a lot of guys that maybe aren't always like that desperate. You like at this point in the tournament, you're seeing a lot of viciousness come out of these guys because they know that they gotta do what it takes to get the job done.
Right, especially Kenny Omega here. He knows anybody that beats him can challenge for the title later on.
Yep.
And then plus two, I mean, right now he's undefeated. He wants to remain undefeated.
He's cheating.
Yeah.
He's cheating.
He's cheating. Using that psychology.
But what did you think of this match overall? What stuck out to you?
I thought it was a very good match, you know, back and forth. I guess, you know, Juice is just will to win, man. He was he didn't give up, man. He was just fighting back and fighting back and fighting back throughout this match. Mm-hmm. And Omega really had to try hard to like cool down the fire that Juice would bring it to him.
That's a good way to put it. There's a lot of times where Kenny will wrestle at a very frantic pace, keep the energy high, keep the pace high, and it was like Juice was trying to set the pace for the majority of the match.
I felt like Juice kept coming at him, and then almost kind of forcing Kenny to like step things up,
to like use his psychology
and what was it, the
will to win. His will to win. Oh my god! But and then eventually like Juice tried to go for Pulp Friction, and then he just started eating V-triggers.
V-trigger after V-trigger after V-trigger.
My God. Yeah, and then he started getting German suplexed and dragon suplexed and just murdered. And Kenny really was brutalized. Like, that's the thing about Kenny Omega. Kenny is a cool wrestler, and he's athletic and all that. But the thing why I like Kenny Omega, it's not his death-defying stunts. It's that he freaking murders people with his knees. He bludgeons people with V-triggers, and it's freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
Like, he really, like hurts people. I mean, not for real, but, like, kayfabe, and maybe a little bit in real life, he's kicking the crap out of people.
Oh, yeah. And they had a great spot here, which was a callback from last year.
Yes.
Kenny goes for the one-wing angel. Juice reverses into a victory roll, which is how he won last year. But Kenny kicked out.
Yeah. He learned from his mistakes.
Mm-hmm. And then V-trigger, one-wing angel.
Yep, finished it. Good match. I wouldn't call it a great match, but for its placement in the night where we're at in the tournament, I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken for my boy Juice.
Yeah, man. That pushed him to 0-4.
I mean, it's not that I thought he was going to beat Kenny, but I just was like, 4 losses for the U.S. champion?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, were predicting that Juice was going to do better this year just because he was a champion and that he would get a little bit stronger booking, but
he's got 5 more matches. He's got to win all of them just to end up with 10 points, and it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
And again, I'm like at that point where it's like, so Kenny gets a title shot, Naito gets a title shot, Ibushi gets a title shot, Yano.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have to defend the crap out of this belt. Like, who's even going to want it is my question.
Right.
When the guy who's representing it, like, he is having good matches, but, there's a lot of naysayers talking about, look at where that belt was when Kenny had it, and then look at where the belt is now Jay has it. And, like, the title doesn't mean anything, yada, yada, yada. But I'm like, look at where it's at midway through the G1. Well, it hasn't even been defended yet.
I will say this in defense of Juice, and I think the commentary has done a great job of this. The hand.
Yeah.
The hand is still 70% healed. He still has a cast on it. And they have been saying, like, if his hand was healed, what could happen? Because, he hits that combo with the big left punch. He has not been able to use that combo.
I think, too, another part of it is, that old adage that there's money in the chase. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you get a really hot baby face and putting the title on them. Unless you have something very compelling, it's not always going to be a great title reign. You know what I mean? Like, unless certain situations, it does depend. It's not always the case, but I mean, it's not like Bruno coming in and beating off the evildoer every month. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah.
So I am wondering if they're like setting this up for Juice to maybe in short order drop the title so that he can redeem himself again.
Or it could just be like a setup where every title match you're like, oh, it's Juice. Like, it makes him the underdog. Even though he's a champion, it makes him the underdog every match. Like,
that's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
So it's like he defends the title like, oh, well, he lost to this dude in the G1. Is he really going to win?
Look at these analytics.
And then he wins
on this show. Oh my God. This is some in-depth crap. There's a lot of other things that other shows are talking about.
Yeah, but we're talking about
the matches,
the analytics, baby.
We're talking about the star ratings,
the stories.
But yeah, this was really good. So yeah, Juice got his heart broken again, and Kenny goes on, and he's 4-0 at this point in the tournament, and 8 points, easy 8,
yeah,
cool 8.
Just sliding in there.
And then that brought us to our main event, Sonata versus Kota Ibushi.
And I love this match. I want to give props to Sonata. I feel like he's really stepped his game up for this tournament, and he's been having some great matches.
When I watch Sonata, in so many ways, I think he's just such a throwback. When I watch him, I'm like, he is the evolution and the epitome of the old New Japan style. He reminds me of Chono. He reminds me of Muto. To some degree, he reminds me of Hashimoto. Not necessarily in the moves or the mannerisms, but in the pacing of his storytelling. Mm-hmm. He is at a higher athletic level, and he's not pigeonholed into this role, but he is like, the embodiment of what the old New Japan like wrestling style from the 90s is, except he's brought it to a new level. And like, if you notice, he does wrestle to some degree sometimes a slower style.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
it just screams 1990s New Japan to me all day, like heavyweight style New Japan. But he's so fantastic with it, the athletic things he does, the psychology behind his matches. He's a really complete performer right now.
Yeah, he is. And
I thought Kota Ibushi was an incredible foil.
Oh, yes. Ibushi, I mean, he's another guy that's been having an amazing G1 this year. Mm-hmm. All great matches. Mm-hmm. And I believe that
he could also be like in contention for being the MVP right now.
Yeah. I believe this night was in the hometown of both Sonata and Ibushi. I know definitely Sonata, but I think it was it Ibushi's hometown also?
I didn't really do research like that. Look at these analytics. We're so good.
No, but I know for sure.
This crowd was super into Sonata, so I know
for sure it was Sonata's hometown, but okay. I think it might have been Ibushi's too, because there was a kind of a big dueling chant at the beginning, but I feel like
they were in his hometown. His hometown. You're gonna get buried in your hometown.
Gonna humble you, pal.
Why do they always make people lose in their hometown?
I've heard different things from different people. A lot of it is the humbling thing. They want to put you over in your hometown, like humble you, beat you in your hometown in front of your friends and family.
He's gonna come out in his hometown, and he's gonna lose. Damn it! It's gonna be great.
And if they're not losing, they're kissing Vince's ass.
Well, that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, or
that we know of.
Yeah, ask JR. But every time they're in Oklahoma, like something horrible always happened to good old JR.
Yeah. But Sonata's in his hometown, and he had a banger.
Yes, man. This was a great matchup, man. Just high flying stuff, springboards, Pele kicks. I mean,
these are two of the most versatile guys in the tournament, by the way, you know, in terms of being able to have great matches with other people. They bring a lot of different types of things to the table. One thing also was Kota Ibushi. We read those statements that he had earlier where he said Sonata was a guy that he'd never faced. He was looking forward to facing him, and he was really wanting to bring something special out of him in this match. And I kind of think he did.
I think he did too. I mean, Sonata had a lot of great counters into the skull end in this match. There was one point he countered the golden triangle and got him in a skull end. And then, yeah, man, it's a lot of hard strikes, you know, suplexes. Yeah, man, it's great stuff.
Yeah, and so, you know, basically, you know, after like a striking exchange between these two guys, they're both exhausted. Ibushi hits him with the lariat, hits the last ride for a great near fall. 2.9, you know.
Yeah.
Ibushi looks for the Kamigoye. Sonata counters out into a skull end and then a draping net breaker for 2. He hits him. He gets him in a skull end again. Sonata drops down. Ibushi fights. He starts fading out and tries to fight out one last time. It looks like he's about to fade out. Sonata just lets go of him, goes up, hits that Muda moonsault. 1, 2, 3 for the shock upset victory.
Yeah, it's a huge win. I think a lot of people were predicting Ibushi to win this matchup. But yeah, man, the Cold Skull, Sonata.
In the main event.
In the main event, yeah. Main event matchup here. Gets the win in his hometown. Gets those needed 2 points.
I think this is one of the biggest wins he's had since, I believe it was Tanahashi he beat a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, this was great stuff here. You know, great athleticism.
Sonata looked great. Kota Ibushi made him look like a star. Kota Ibushi was excellent in this match.
This match was a mix of everything. You had grappling, you had high flying, you had some brawling, striking. So, yeah, great stuff here.
It was really, really good. And high drama. I mean, Sonata was almost out of there several times, and yeah, he picked up the win here. So that's going to put the cap on night 8.
So now we're moving on to night 9, and this is A block. And I'm just going to say from right now, from the jump, honestly, I was not in love with night 9.
I thought you were going to say something like, I did not watch this, let's move on.
No. And
I was like, you told me you watched it, man.
No, I watched everything, but I don't know, man.
It was a weeknight. A weeknight. Now, it wasn't like pitiful.
Right.
But man, when you come off those B block shows and then you go to these A block shows, I don't know, man.
And I'm sorry, like I don't want to be, you know, negative Nancy here, but I'm just saying, you watch the B block and you got these, you know, over 4-star matches for the most of the card, and then
now we haven't watched night 11 yet, so I can't speak to that, but I would say the only really truly great match. There have been good matches, but like we're talking really great match from the entire A block this tournament is still to me Tanahashi and Suzuki.
Yep.
That's the only thing that's comparable to what we've seen in the B block. We've had some good matches. Don't get me wrong. There's guys putting in great performances, but there's not a plethora of great matches.
Yeah,
there's just not.
Yeah.
And also this character work and this storytelling is not making up for it. I watch my G1s for snowflakes, baby. Okay, I watch them for star ratings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's get started with this first match. So we had Michael Elgin versus Minoru Suzuki, which you would think, right, that these two guys put together would create magic almost every time.
Yeah, but they don't.
They don't.
I mean, this was good. This was like 3 stars, you know.
You know what I think it is? I think Suzuki's just super rad, and Michael Elgin just sucks.
Oh, man.
And Suzuki doesn't respect him, and he is like, this gaijin, nah, hold this elbow. Let's go outside. I'm going to stall you a little bit, kid. No, I'm just playing. You know, Suzuki's a big Twitter, like, you know, fiend, and everyone knows that he's got a really interesting Twitter. He probably heard about what's going on with Elgin over the past year. He's like, oh, I'm not helping your career in any way. Go into this guardrail. Take these chairs. Take this hold.
He did say in the previous night's promo, he was like, Elgin, I'm gonna pile drive you, make your neck shorter. Oh my gosh, dude! I love Suzuki's promos.
I'm gonna run you all over after this match.
Yeah,
he said he was gonna stab Jay White
in the head. Whoever's next, I'm gonna stab them in the head.
That's awesome. But this. And now, don't get me wrong, guys. This. And anyone who's like, did he just say Michael Elgin sucks? I knew he didn't like him. I was just being facetious, guys. Comedy.
Dude, we were putting Michael Elgin over last week.
Yeah, we were. But him and Suzuki, they had a match. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I did like it better than their never openweight title match from last year, which was awful. It's just so weird that they don't have great matches together, because I really do think that when you put these two guys together, it should just be money, but it really hasn't been.
Right. And I mean, Elgin's been one of the guys in A block that's been having a lot of great matches. So yeah, I don't know what happened here.
He's getting tired, man. That keto diet, it's not enough energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But long story short, there was a lot of brawling on the outside. There was, some good strike exchanges. But at the end of the day, nothing really compelling here. Suzuki ended up, getting the guillotine, the sleeper, and the gotch for the win.
Yeah, he fulfilled his promise that he was going to pile drive Elgin, and that's what he did. So...
And that brings Suzuki to 2 points. Elgin, who had a very promising start to the tournament, is, at another point deficit after this match. So, I mean, he only has 2 wins, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Man, 4 points for Michael Elgin. That seems crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some time for him to get some points.
Am I wrong on that? Is he only at 4 points? I'm looking.
No, you're right. Yeah, 4 points, man. 2 wins and 3 losses. This was his 3rd loss.
Wow. So that's a little surprising, but so Suzuki picks up the win. That brought us to the next match, Adam Page, Hangman Page.
Hangman Pagey.
And Eva.
Everything is Eva.
So Evil and Hangman Page, which for my money was the match of the night.
Yes.
And I liked it.
Yes, this was a really good match.
And it had Evil. And it was good.
Yes, this was good
stuff. It was really good.
Yeah, man. Hangman Page, man.
The 3.5-star savior. No, I'm just playing. No, Hangman has just been... He's still like one of my MVPs of the tournament. I think last week we were saying that it was Elgin, I believe.
In the A block?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with this, Adam Page might start to pass him, because he's just having he's putting on almost everyone's best matches with them.
Yeah, and he's having a great performances night in and night out. Up here, he was against Evil.
He's killing himself to do it, too.
Yeah.
He's doing some crazy crap.
Yeah, even the shooting star press shoulder block thing that he always does.
Not only just that, he's taking a lot of extra risks, a lot of extra chances in these matches.
Yeah, the moonsault. He's been doing almost a similar golden triangle moonsault.
Oh yeah, but off the top rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always dope. So yeah, Adam Page is great here. I thought Evil was very, very good. I thought these guys had a lot of chemistry, which I was surprised by. Not that Evil's bad, but I don't know. When you talk about fantasy matchups or hypotheticals that are going to happen in this tournament that you're excited about, I mean, who would have would you have been oh, I can't wait to see this Hangman Evil match?
No, not at all.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And then it had a really good closing stretch. Evil hits the Darkness Falls, but Hangman kicks out. Hangman fights off everything as Evil and hits a super kick. They start trading clothesline. Page counters with a German and then hits the buckshot lariat for a near fall. He looks for the rite of passage. Evil counters, hits a headbutt and a lariat for a near fall, and then he hits the everything is evil and connects and gets the 1, 2, 3. Evil gets those points, climbs to 8 points.
And he's a point leader.
Yeah.
In the A block.
Yep.
So that's impressive. Page, again, very impressive in another great, very enjoyable match. He's one of the guys that is making the most of, G1. These G1 spots are becoming more and more precious each and every year. And, some of these guys, you can't just be putting on lackluster performances, especially if you're Hangman Page. Especially if you're not a dojo boy. You're not a company man. You're a gaijin from Ring of Honor. You gotta do what this guy's doing, and he's doing it each and every night. And he's a guy where I'm like, he better be in the G1 next year.
Oh, yeah.
In December, we were talking about, like, hey, this guy's, like, pretty good, and, like, people are not talking about it, but I never would have been like...
Hangman needs to be in the G1.
He needs to be in the G1. I would have been like, Kitamura needs to be in the G1. Which, where's that guy anyways?
Dude, I almost forgot about it.
Really? I think about him every day. Not a day goes by. I'm on Kitamura watch 24/7. I'm waiting for his...
Waiting for his signs.
I'm waiting for his evolution. Evolution is a mystery.
That word evolution's being thrown around a lot in the wrestling world.
They're all in, you know?
Yeah.
But Adam Page is doing a great job. Evil picks up 8 points. And that brings us to the match that I think most people are most excited for this entire tournament.
Jay White and Bad Luck Fale.
Switchblade. I almost said Sling Blade again. Switchblade, Jay White, and Bad Luck Fale.
And Bad Match Fale.
The underboss.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, but this match was horrible. This match stunk.
You thought so?
Yeah, man. Like,
I was kind of into it.
I don't know, man. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, I had like my Rich Latta voice, like, oh my god, what are these guys doing? Lowering the star average out here,
bringing down the average.
Freaking Jay White,
freaking dusty old Jay White. Oh my god. Hey, okay. Before we get into how terrible it is, let's talk about some positives, okay?
Okay.
Jay White was good in this match.
Yes.
Jay White did everything that he possibly could do to have a decent match given the circumstances with Bad Luck Fale. That's not fan service because I like Jay White, because I'm still kind of mixed on the guy.
Yeah.
But I will say this. He was trying really hard to do it the best he could given the circumstances, but this was pretty bad, but I found it more like an oddity. Like, it wasn't like I thought that this match was excellent or anything, but I was kind of engrossed by it because I was like, well, you got these two guys that are just like both, you know, cheating really bad, but on opposite ends of the spectrum, where Jay White really wants the points and wants to be the leader. Fale just doesn't care. F him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And I thought it was interesting. They did a lot of brawling in the crowd. There was a lot of just shenanigans.
You know what else I think hurt this match was the commentary feed went out when Jay White threw Bad Luck Fale into the guardrail on the table.
I felt like that lended itself to the match personally. I felt like, you know, like it added to the chaos of the match, and like the fact, like that whole, it was like a spectacle of cheating.
Yeah.
It was a cheating spectacle. It wasn't like a great match, but it was just like a lot of like shenanigans and tomfoolery. Like, it was just, you know, it was what it was. I wasn't expecting more than what we got. And I wasn't disappointed, because when you aim low, you're never disappointed. Okay?
Yeah.
I really wasn't disappointed by this match.
I don't have high expectations for any Bad Luck Fale match, but we just had that great evil Hangman Page match, and then it was like, crap. Like, why couldn't this match be like the first match?
I literally think that Jay White did everything he could to have as good of a match with Fale as he possibly could.
Yeah.
And then the finish came, and I wasn't even really that mad about the finish, because even though the firing squad, the OG Bullet Club came in and cheated, it's like, well, you know, Jay kind of deserves this.
Right.
After all the crap he's been getting away with and pulling, it was kind of like a comeuppance in a way.
And I think that was the most interesting thing here. You know, Jay White has beaten Okada, and in his mind, he's the leader of Chaos, but where are all the Chaos guys to help him here? Not one.
Yeah. And, you know, I haven't been watching all the undercard matches, because, like I said, I barely got through these G1 nights. I'm going to try to do better just because I enjoy the undercards, like I said, but I just haven't had time for it. But he's been letting Komatsu get pinned.
Yeah, I mean, I forget which night it was, but
3 nights.
Yeah, I mean,
he did it during the Suzuki night, and then these last 2,
the Hangman night, he literally watched Yo get rite of passage. And just watched him get pinned.
He's done it 3 times now on this tour, where he's watched this dude get pinned and like could have broke up the pin and didn't do it. So it's like Rocky's pissed at him.
Yo's pissed.
You know, Goto and Ishii are not boys with this
dude,
man.
If I'm Yo, I'm like, dude, what? Like, can somebody else team with this guy? Like,
I'm kind of wondering. Like, I'm excited for like Trent to come back to see like what the best friends interactions with him will be like, because I'm sure that they're not like cool with this dude. I did think also for people that were talking about like Jay White potentially breaking off and becoming like the leader of the Bullet Club, I saw people that were like hypothesizing like, oh, this will be like, I don't know what they were thinking, maybe like a finger poke of doom sort of situation.
Yeah,
but it wasn't that. He actually almost won too. Like, he was cheating too, and like he almost got the victory on all 3 dudes. So I think he still looks strong, but you're right, like the numbers game caught up with him, and he has no backup.
Yeah.
And what was the whole point of joining Chaos in the beginning?
To have backup. Because he screwed Kenny Omega over. And that was the whole point. And this guy just keeps, screwing over his whole crew. So it's like, how are you going to be the leader of a faction when the whole faction hates you? Right.
And then I've had people ask, like, well, what's he going to do after this? Like, who's he going to take over? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because people do see him in that light where they think he's going to be
the leader of a faction.
Of something. I'm like, I don't know. He might need to form one.
Yeah, he would have to start his own faction, because I don't see him.
Bring in Juicy Gambino. Bring in Slex. Bring in some MCW boys. Mighty Don't Kneel,
But Gambino's part of the Bullet Club.
No, he's not.
He's part of the...
is he OG or is
he's part of the firing squad.
Is he...
Fale gave that man a shirt. You keep laughing at this. There's footage of Bad Luck Fale giving Juicy Gino Gambino a Bullet Club shirt.
So you're saying he's not part of the elite?
No. Oh my gosh.
Do you think that like in MCW he's like repping the Bullet Club?
I'm sure he is. He probably has it on his singlet. Has a shirt every night.
Why are you saying you're sure he is? Like, you have no clue.
I don't.
I imagine like that there's a Bullet Club Australia, like,
yeah, like he started his own like
offshoot.
Yeah, like Bullet Club Juicy.
My God. Yeah, that's just what this company needs, a third NWO, right?
My NWO B team.
So anyways, Bad Luck Fale ended up, take us to the finish. What happened here?
Yeah, so there was a draping DDT for a near fall by Jay White. Fale fights out a Saito suplex. White goes back to attacking the knee. Fale fires up with a shoulder tackle and hits the corner for a splash and then a running splash. White fights out of the Bad Luck Fall and then hits a Saito suplex, which was a cool spot. Fale counters out of the Blade Runner and ref bump. Then we got Loa in for the attack. Tama comes out, looks at the gun stun. White fights them off of a chair. Low blow to Fale, but then a gun stun connects and Fale hits the Bad Luck Fall. 1, 2, 3. Fale picks some points up here.
You know who looked good in this match? White. You know who looked like a jobber? Fale. What's wrong with that picture?
He's a bigger man.
Why is Fale like having to... This guy gets 10 to 12 points every year, so I don't get this kind of
It's
stuff.
like he's regressing.
I just don't get it. I don't even know like how to really criticize it. I don't, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm the booker, but it's like, it doesn't make sense. This guy doesn't need like, you know what I mean? He doesn't need it, the help.
Right.
So it's just really weird still. What did you, I kind of cut you off earlier. Before we move on, bury this crap.
All I'm going to say is I don't want to go on too much about this, but
do it.
All I'm going to say is
pull out your Triple H.
Pull out the shovel. All I'm gonna say is it's just not a good match.
Very.
I get the storytelling aspects they're trying to do with Jay White and the firing squad. I get that every match of theirs there's going to be interference and ref bumps and DQs and cheating. But, you know, it's just not for me, like, this matchup. Like you said, my G1, I'm here for snowflakes. I only got one snowflake here.
Really, that low?
Maybe two.
I mean, I'm not here to change your mind on it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm a little surprised, but yeah, definitely.
I mean, I just really did not enjoy this match whatsoever.
So you think it's like one of the worst matches of the G1 this year?
Yeah.
Wow. Hot take. Bang, bang. Shooting on them boys.
Wow. Hey, we have a saying here at Social Suplex. If you're putting out trash, we're going to rip you to bits. And I'm sorry. I'm seeing trash right now.
Speaking of trash, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I'm just joking. So in our main event, we got the ace. No, that's not the main event.
Nope,
Semi-main event, my bad. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of the universe, taking on the Unchained Gorilla, Togi
Makabe, yeah.
Do you think that's like a racist name? The Unchained Gorilla. That's not right.
Maybe if he was black.
Maybe. Oh, no. Doesn't that's like it's like some Joe Frazier stuff and Ali calling him a gorilla. I don't know. But anyway, so we got Tanahashi and Makabe here. These guys have met they've had so many like G1 matches over the years. So many they're from the same generation. So I mean, this is nothing new. This was okay, but you know, it just I don't know. For me, this never really clicked, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe
they're phoning it in.
That's what I was saying. Maybe both of them kind of felt like they were mailing it in. You know, we mentioned Makabe. He had a lot of mileage on him.
Tanahashi has a lot of mileage on him.
Yeah, and so I mean, they're I don't know. I mean, it was an okay match.
It was okay. I mean, there's nothing really there's nothing detrimental here. I'm not going to bury the match, but there's nothing that was super compelling. I thought that the spots towards I'm always a mark for when Makabe is setting people up for that Spider German.
Oh, I love that Spider German, yeah.
And just, he ended up hitting him with a...
belly to belly, right?
Belly to belly off that, and then he went for the King Kong and missed. That pretty much spelled the end for him towards the end, basically. I'm trying to remember what happened after that. Yeah, he hit him with the belly to belly, missed the King Kong knee drop. Tanahashi hit him with the sling blade, gets a 1, high fly, high cross, high five flow, connects for the win. 1, 2, 3. You know, it was a decent match, but if you've seen matches between Makabe and Tanahashi, you've seen this one a million times, and it's also not even like you said, they got mileage. It's not their best match or anything like that, and I don't think they're trying to at this point, really, because I think they're saving that up for put other guys over to make stars out of other guys. These guys, their rivalry's past, their time's past. Like there's really no, it's not a special thing right now,
Yeah. So then moving on to the main.
But before we move on, that gives Tanahashi 8 points.
Yeah.
Puts him in the point lead with Evil.
Yeah. So, in A block, after that night, you have, Evil and Tanahashi both tied 4-1, 8 points, yeah.
And then our main event, Okada and Yoshihashi.
Yeah, the Rainmaker against the Headhunter. Both Chaos guys. Some history here. Okada faced Yoshihashi when he returned from excursion and was at Wrestle Kingdom
6 or 7? I can't remember.
Something like that.
I think 6. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm gonna say 6. You do your thing, Jeremy. I'm gonna look this up.
Okay. So they have history. Okada beat Yoshihashi that night, and not that great of a match, and then challenged Tanahashi, and then went on to beat Tanahashi for the belt. And people were like, who's this Okada guy? And he had that not so great match with Yoshihashi, and now he's challenging for the championship. So they have their history, and now they're both Chaos. So you have Chaos versus Chaos here, and this was just another
Wrestle Kingdom 6, baby. My mind is a steely trap.
You're right, Wrestle Kingdom 6.
Well, because I know at Wrestle Kingdom 7 he wrestled Tanahashi, so that just seemed to make the most sense to me.
But Yeah, this was another, this was a good match.
I thought it was good.
It wasn't great.
I would say it's about on the same level as the Hangman Page and Evil match, but it's Okada in the main event. One thing that's been different about A-Block, Okada's been in the main event of every single night except for one. For the entire tour, he's going to be.
Yeah.
The only main event that he wasn't part of was Jay White and Tanahashi.
Right.
And it is just so weird. One of our listeners, I wish I would have pulled it up, but one of our listeners, I think it was Harrison G. I could be wrong, but he had mentioned that, because of the storylines that are going with Okada, that he's not really wrestling up to his level because of the character work, which is interesting. Because one thing that I'm missing a lot from Okada, his matches are good, but you know what we're not getting? We're not getting those classic ending stretch closes that he's better at than anyone else in the business. And to me, part of this, like when it was sinking in while I was watching this match, I was like, Okada is the best wrestler in the world. He can literally make himself a worse wrestler by trying. There's so much thought into what he does that even when he's not like wrestling up to his level, it's on purpose because he's that good. It's like he's like the first, like, what were they? The first, he's like, this is his first form, basically.
He's gone back. He's sticking into the first form.
Yeah, he went back to his first form, and he's evolving, and we're gonna get like second form, third form, God form. Like right now, we have first form Okada.
Yeah, he's Super Saiyan 1 right now.
Yeah, he's like Frieza when he had the horns. And you're like, what's going on with this dude? But I thought that this was an interesting story. I think it was funny that Yoshihashi, before they started the match, said during the, when they asked him about it, he's like, I'm going to win tonight. And like Kevin Kelly's like, I think he really thinks that he's going to win. And like Rocky Romero's like, no, he does. He thinks he's going to win.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was a fine main event. I think it's been just like a lot of Okada's main events. They've been fine.
Right. And there were some callbacks to that Wrestle Kingdom 6 match. Okada, he hit a sit-out Rainmaker, which was the original Rainmaker he used Wrestle Kingdom 6. He's never used it again. But the sit-out version... the way I interpreted it, because I didn't even think of that until you just said it, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. I kind of was thinking like he was taking some of the impact off because it's his boy. That's the way I was like, he's protecting him. Right.
Because he did that, and then he did something else he did the, I forget the name of the move, but where he catches the guy on his shoulders and then drops their neck on his knee. And he did a sit-out version of that and dropped him straight on the mat. And at first I was like, oh, is that a more vicious version, or is he
trying to be soft on like, Yoshi?
I kind of thought he was taking it easy on the guy a little bit so as not to like injure him, like, because it's his teammate, you know? Which might have been his undoing, because we kind of seen something similar a couple G1s ago when he lost to Ishii, and some of these same story elements and themes came into play. Yeah. So that's interesting.
But yeah, that was the very first Rainmaker version he ever used, and he's in that match. So that was kind of a callback to that match. He kicked out of that. Honestly, I was kind of surprised because I didn't catch that.
It was a sit-out. Yeah, it was a sit-out Rainmaker. When he kicked out, I actually wasn't that surprised because it wasn't the real Rainmaker. Right. And then he also hit him with like a 360. Rocky was like, 360 Rainmaker! But I was like, I don't know if I would call that the Rainmaker, but it was like a version.
It was like a discus lariat kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like almost like a roaring elbow, but with a Rainmaker. And that didn't put him away either. So I was like, I kind of felt like he was doing things to not hurt his boy.
Yeah, I feel like he was kind of like trying to prolong this match. Like, I feel like his facial expressions looked like he could end this anytime he wanted to, but he wanted to see like what Yoshihashi was made of.
He did kill Yoshihashi with drop kicks though.
Oh yeah, he did.
And I thought it was interesting too that like there was the time where he tried to go for the where he had Yoshihashi seated, and you thought he was going to do the drop kick, drop him down, and Yoshihashi had scouted it and kicked him off. And so I was like, oh, Yoshihashi's like got this guy scouted. Nope, he just took drop kick. After that, he just ate drop kicks all night.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, this is why Yoshihashi should not be chilling and catering. He needs to be watching his boy. He's the best wrestler in the world. Like, this is why you can't have good things. Also, that butterfly lock. I'm gonna keep criticizing it until the end of time. Like, it sucks. And I watched him put like Okada in it. And as good as Okada is of a seller, I was like, this thing does not hurt anybody. It looks so bad.
And you know what's the craziest thing though is the crowd actually like
is into it.
Yeah. And honestly, like, he wins very little matches with the butterfly lock, so it's like it's not even put in your mind that he can win with it. And then, like, what they should have done is, like, all these undercard matches, he should have been winning all his undercard matches with the butterfly lock.
I've seen him beat guys on the undercard, like, during tag matches with it, but very rarely, like you said.
And, so, yeah, when I see the butterfly lock, I'm like, he's not beating anybody. He's not beating Okada with this. So.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the crowd was into it and bought it, so I guess that really that's what matters.
And, so then eventually, you know, they're in the center of the ring. Yoshihashi hits a lariat, covers for 2. Okada counters the Fisherman Buster. Hashi hits the super kick and Brainbuster for 2. A great spot. That almost had me thinking he could win, actually. Okada fights off Karma, hits the Tombstone, and a Rainmaker, hits one more Rainmaker for good measure. 1, 2, 3. Yoshihashi, you suck. Everyone bow down to King Okada, and he picks up 2 points.
Yeah, he's on the comeback here, and he's starting to pick back points and, you know, fight his way back on top of the leaderboard. He's actually now, after this night, he ended up being tied with Jay White and Suzuki with 6 points.
So this was some good drama, good callback spots, you know. Okada's still, like, having to recollect himself and come back from what he was. Could you imagine if he would have lost to
Yoshihashi?
Yeah, one of the lower guys in his team, you know, a guy who's at the bottom of the totem pole, and he did struggle with him a bit. Yoshihashi is still, you know, fighting for his life in this tournament, but he's almost done, right?
Yeah.
How many points he got? 2?
He has 2 points, yeah.
2 points? I mean,
he has 1 win, 4 loss.
Very, very, very close to being mathematically eliminated from this tournament standing. So that does it for A Block.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to night 10, back to the B Block. And we kick things off with Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Tama Tonga.
What do you think about this match? I'm gonna be transparent here. Night 10, I watched it, but I was struggling, falling asleep.
that 7-star mattress.
That 7.5-star mattress. 7 3/4 stars mattress. Better than Dominion. Better than the Dominion 2 out of 3 match.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, this Sabre Tama Tonga match, it was whatever. I mean, the whole story of this match was, you know, you had the 2 seconds getting involved, with Loa getting involved, Taka Michinoku getting involved. Pretty much seeing who can kind of like out cheat each other and out get involved. And
listen, we were just talking about this man being an MVP of the tournament, Zack Sabre, and then Tama Tonga coming out here,
hold my beer.
Just bringing down the average. What a freaking heel.
Yeah,
like,
man.
What if that was your, like, gimmick? I'm going to bring down everyone's star averages.
Well, I feel like he's kind of incorporated that, you know, a lot of the Twitter stuff he's been spouting off in videos. And he's like, yeah, I'm not here to have good matches. I'm here to get paid. And
yeah, that and also wishing, you know, servicemen that they died in action. So that's good, too.
So, yeah, I mean.
What a douche.
This match, you know, ended with DQ. Sabre had an armbar. He counted the gun stun, he put an armbar on, but then Fale came and he hit the grenade on Sabre. DQ. Sabre gets the 2 points. Tama loses again.
I didn't like the interferences. I didn't like the finish. I'm glad that Zach got 2 points. That's great, but 11 minutes, you could have given me like probably 7 here, and I would have been just fine.
Yeah.
Nothing compelling to really talk about here. Zach gets 2 points. I don't know what they're doing with Tama Tonga. We're moving on.
Yeah. Next up, Juice Robinson against Toru Yano.
A great match. Okay, now we got something to stick our teeth into.
Yeah, dude, this was a highly entertaining match.
Very funny.
Juice put a lot of pressure on himself. He said that if he lost any more matches, he was going. If he lost another match, he was going to like forfeit the IWGP US title.
Yeah, he's talking about do I even belong in New Japan?
Right.
Which is very like man, this guy's got to fight for his life. You fight to survive. Kumite. You ever seen Bloodsport?
No, I haven't.
Gotta watch Bloodsport. Anyway, so so Juice and Yano, and I really liked the airplane spin spot where Juice took Yano up, and Yano's like, ah!
Yeah.
And then they came down.
They both came down dizzy.
And they're trying to hit each other. Neither guy could like land a shot. They were just like selling that crap. It was really good.
Yeah.
This is 8 minutes.
We saw the return of the tape.
Oh yeah, he taped up Juice on the outside. Mm-hmm. Try to get the count out
victory.
Which would have been... Oh, can you imagine if Juice would have got counted out off some tape?
Oh, my God. Dude, that would have been horrible. But, yeah, man, Yano...
I kind of wish it would have happened. It would have led to, like, one of the greatest U.S. title, rivalries in the history of the sport.
But, they had that airplane spot you mentioned. They both went down. Yano raked the eyes. Robinson hits a belly to back suplex and a senton for a near fall. Yano sends Robinson into an exposed buckle. The ref stops the low blow.
Accountability partner.
Yep. Yano gets the cradle for 2. Robinson fires up with the jabs, unwraps his cast. Yano cuts him off, but Juice ends up hitting the pulp friction and finally gets a win. Finally's on the board, gets 2 points. He's not going to have a goose egg going into to the end of this tournament.
Yeah, so that's good. Yano's still cheating. Juice picks up two points, and we'll see where that takes them. This was a very entertaining match.
And now, this next match, Kota Ibushi, Tomohiro Ishii. One of our listeners tweeted, he's like, I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to say about this match.
They did?
Yeah.
We get tweets?
Yeah, we get tweets, man, at KI Strong Style. This match, dude.
Speaking of tweets, anyone out there has tickets to the AAW show on August 31st,
yeah,
please hit us up.
Yeah.
At KI Strong Style?
Yep, KI Strong Style.
We will buy them from you. We need to go to that show. And it is sold out.
Yeah, we got tickets for Thursday night. We need Friday night tickets.
Anyone who's out there, hook us up. We will pay. We got money. Make guap.
But yes, this match, Ibushi and Ishii, dude, this was incredible, amazing, phenomenal matchup, man. I love this match.
Top tier.
Oh my gosh.
It's top tier.
Dude, I'm 5. I threw 5 snowflakes at it.
I'm like very close. I don't know where I'm at, but it's either 4 3/4 or 5 stars. It's a special match. Very special.
Dude. Like, go out of your... If you're cherry picking, like, you need to watch this match.
Here's the thing about it, too. Something you might not realize. It's only like 15 or 16 minutes long.
Yeah, 16 minutes, 13 seconds.
It's not one of these epic kick out of every finisher. It's not that epic WWE multiple finishers, multiple kickouts, like the epic match.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not that. This is a war. This is like Hagler Hearns. Seriously, like these guys were killing each other. And also, there's a story that's been carrying over all tournament long, and Rocky Romero's been pointing out, and I love it, is that Yano is susceptible to these mid kicks. Started with the Goto match, and then
Ishii.
I'm sorry, Ishii. Yeah, who did I say?
Yano.
Oh my! Disrespect will not be tolerated. But yeah, Ishii, Goto, killed him with the mid kicks, and then in his match with Zack Sabre, he kind of exploited that, and then now Kota Ibushi just murdering this dude with mid kicks.
Yeah,
it's like a vulnerable spot on Ishii at this point in the tournament, and I love that about the G1, how there are stories of damage and things that just carry over throughout the tournament, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this match was just an overall battle of one upmanship, like who can outdo the other. Both of these guys like stealing each other's signature moves.
I loved that.
Ishii hits the last ride powerbomb. Ibushi hits the brain buster.
Ishii hit a Kamigoye.
Yeah, Ishii reached up to the heavens and hit a Kamigoye.
He reached up to the heavens, warriors.
Oh my!
Hulk Hogan.
And yeah, man, a lot of crazy stuff and a lot of, kicking out at one big moves or just completely like getting right up to your feet off of moves.
That's why I keep saying, to me, Ibushi's one of the most versatile guys in wrestling today.
Yeah.
You want to have a war like this of strikes and big moves and we'll do that. You want to have a match where, it's catch as catch can or, shoot style and, it's mat-based wrestling. He can do that. You want to have a spot fest. This guy can do anything, bro.
Man.
And this match just showed, like, he's with the smoke.
Yes.
He's with the smoke.
Ishii wants all the smoke. And this was a match of the year contender in my book.
I think it's a strong style match of the year contender.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, this match was just freaking awesome. All the times where, like, Ibushi would drop Ishii and Ishii would come, like, when he started chopping him in the throat, it was some of them. This is a very brutal match.
My God. Well, Ibushi was, like, trying to test Ishii. There were times where, like, he would, like, do that kick to the head thing.
Bro,
and, like,
shades of Wrestle Kingdom, him and Nakamura. Like, it reminded me of that a lot.
Well, speaking of Nakamura, did you catch the Bomaye knee that Kota Ibushi hit towards the end of the match?
No, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the spot you're referring to, but I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, hit that man with a Bomaye knee, which Ishii kicked out at 1.
I mean, that's all great and all, but, like, if you really want to talk about Nakamura tributes, nobody is as good as Taguchi.
Every night, man. Taguchi's hitting that the hip attack, Bomaye.
The Bomaye hip attack?
Yeah.
He never lands it, hardly ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just literally incredible. Didn't Ibushi hit a freaking he hit a crowd like off the balcony
oh yeah, balcony moonsault. Yeah.
This was just so incredible.
This had dude, this match was just...
The thing about it was, like, we talked about how incredible Goto and Ishii was, and I mean, I'm very close to 5 stars in that match as well, so I'm taking nothing away, but man, in terms of violence, I thought we wouldn't see anything more violent than that, but I think this was.
Yeah, dude. I mean, between the headbutts, the chops, the kicks, the knees.
When we're talking about top matches coming out of the G1, this is one of the elite. It's one of them. It's one of them. Right now, it's got to be top 5 in the tournament. You got to put it up there with Goto and Ishii. You got to put it up there with Omega and Naito. It's right there in the same conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, this closing stretch, man. Ishii counters the Kamigoye, hits one of his own. Ishii then hits the last ride. Ibushi kicks out. Ishii kills him with a lariat, but Ibushi still finds a way to kick out. Ibushi hits a brainbuster. Ishii pops up, no sells, hits an Inzi. Then Ibushi hits the Bomaye. Ishii kicks out at 1. Kamigoye is countered by Ishii. Trade strikes. Ibushi hits a head kick, and then the Kamigoye finally getting the victory.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the reasons I pointed out that this was 16 minutes is because, we're used to that 30-minute, 25-minute, 35-minute, epic New Japan style, main event. You know what I mean?
Yeah. During
these G1s. But this wasn't that. This was 16 minutes, and it was action-packed from top to bottom. It never really relented.
Yeah, they maximized those minutes.
It was a freight train, bro. It was a freight train. And, like, I'll say it, these are probably 2 of my top favorite guys in this block and in New Japan in general. I don't think I ever remember. I know they've wrestled before, but I can't remember or recall specifically a time where they did wrestle personally. I mean, I've seen so many matches, but this one is like, I'm not going to forget this one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget this one. This one was excellent. Very, 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 very special match.
I know. Dude, after watching this match, I was like, oh crap, there's 2 more matches left. That wasn't the main event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ibushi gets those well-needed 2 points.
But at what cost, Kevin?
Oh my god!
At what cost? Yeah, it was excellent. Both these guys killed each other. Like, this is what the G1's all about, man.
Yeah, grade 1 climax. Boom, Ibushi and Ishii.
Is that what G1 means?
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Oh man, is it ever weird telling someone that you're watching something called the G1
Climax, yeah.
Like, I'm always like, the G1. I'm watching the G1.
I don't even tell
even tell them that.
non-Mark set. I'm just like, I'm watching wrestling.
I don't even tell them
It's
that.
crazy. Like,
People ask me, they're like, what are you doing? I'm chilling. Leave me alone.
I started going to a new church in the last few months, and like a lot of people are like, you like wrestling? Oh, you have a podcast? I want to listen to it. I'm like, you're gonna have like no idea what I'm talking about. But I've actually had a few people like, oh, I actually like listen to your podcast. Like, I had no idea what you're saying, but it was good. And I'm like, it's so weird.
You know why?
What?
Because we're over.
We're over with the marks. We're over with the non-marks. We draw them all, baby.
Trying. Which brings us to our next segment. One of these days we're gonna have advertisements and we're gonna go into one of those awkward like
Blue Chew. If you thought that Kamagoye was hard, wait till you get your first order of Blue Chew. Use the promo code Strong Style to make sure you have a strong style night.
Oh my God. This match was a special occasion. And speaking of special occasions, if you want to really treat your lady or just show her that she cares, reach out to our friends at proflowers.com. Use our code StrongStyle. It's like, what are you talking about? I remember like the first time I was listening to podcasts and like Stone Cold would break out and like start talking about like On It, and he's like, and I'm like, what just happened? What just happened?
Yeah.
You were talking to Raven 3 seconds ago, and all of a sudden he's like, hold up, we gotta take a break, and I gotta mention my friends over at On It, and I'm like, what?
Dude, Conrad, like their show, dude, like their advertisements, they'll do like segue stuff like I just did, and they'll be like, so like speaking of whatever, and they'll like go into like the set. What
I like about Jim Ross's podcast is that over the years he's gotten more and more disenfranchised, and you can hear it in his voice. But he recorded his advertisements a long time ago, so when it cuts in, it's like you hear vibrant, like, "Hey, this is a good old JR," and then he's like, when he comes back, he's like, "All right, we're back."
Sign up for MeUndies. Oh my gosh.
What's funny is like you listen to more podcasts than me, so you know all the gimmicks. I don't even know them. I'm like, what are we gonna mention?
Yeah.
My God.
One day when we sell out.
Oh, I'm ready to sell out now.
Oh, so am I.
I'm a super whore. Hey, someone wants to buy Keepin It Strong Style. I'm not attached to the name. You can have it for the right price. It's all yours.
Oh, man.
You just got to come and co-host with Jeremy every Monday night.
Oh, man. So, next up, we had Tetsuya Naito against Hiroki Goto. And honestly, I was a little disappointed by this match.
And you know what? Honestly, I was really into this match. And I knew that it wasn't really that good. Is that weird? I knew for a fact, watching it, that I was like, this is like a 3-star affair. But I am so into it. Like, I wouldn't rate it higher than that. But, I'm not going to lie. Like, when there's characters that I like... Mm-hmm. And I've gotten some flack over the past few weeks about not liking Goto or whatever, but that's not really the case. I've always liked Goto. I just, obviously I see that there's character flaws with, the booking and things like that. But at the end of the day, I like Goto. And I just thought that Goto and Naito, for whatever reason, was a really compelling matchup to me. This wasn't like a blowaway match. It wasn't anything like that. But I thought like both guys put in solid. I just thought it was a really solid match.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid match. I don't know. I thought they would at least get to the 4-star level.
No, it was nothing like that. Yeah. It was nothing like that. This isn't going to be a recommended match. I'm not telling you to go out and catch it if you're cherry picking.
It's worth a watch, but it's not must watch.
I wouldn't even call it that. It's just Josh Smith, the young boy. I liked it. I don't know why. There was nothing special about it. It was by the numbers, but I just really, really liked it.
Yeah, I got another hot take.
Okay.
The Destino. I think it's clunky. And I think it's kind of...
It's not when he...
I like the running Destino.
No, I don't. The running Destino is the clunky one.
Really?
He doesn't land it good.
I think the arm twist Destino is kind of...
That's the only one he ever lands right.
I think that one's kind of slow.
It is a little bit slow, but
It's kind of clunky. It's like
no. Well, what do you mean by clunky? Define clunky.
Like I mean, like he has like he rings the arm, then he kind of like jumps up there, and like I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like I like the running Destino better. Like it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it like hits it. But
in theory, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I've never seen him land the running Destino in a way that I thought looked good. It just looks like he's throwing himself up and they're both falling on their backs, to me, anyways. Also, speaking of which, I went and saw Mission Impossible this weekend.
Yeah.
And someone landed a Spanish fly in that movie. I didn't want to forget about it. And then, I thought someone was going to break their neck. I was really scared. It's like a ring apron spot. But anyways, but here's the thing, okay? This is my take, because it's funny you mention that, because I literally was going to come on the show and say the exact opposite.
That's funny.
So what I like about the regular Destino, yes, getting over is a little bit slow.
Yeah.
But the velocity that he falls back it's like a roller coaster when you're like do
yeah,
whoosh, and that's what that's why I like the Destinos, because he grabs them, he comes up, it is a little bit slower, and then boom. And I mean, like, I don't think that's any different in my book from, say, a One-Winged Angel.
Yeah.
With a slower setup and then a big impact. And for my money, almost no move has as big of an impact as the regular Destino.
Yeah.
What I would, in theory, like the running Destino if he could land it correctly, but he runs up, jumps over the guy, and then he never hooks anything. They both just fall back, and I think it looks... I think it's like...
I don't know. The few running Destinos I've seen in this tournament, I feel like he's...
The one he landed here sucked.
I feel like other ones, maybe this one, but I feel like other ones he's done well, or even like when he counters a move into the Destino.
Those are great too.
Yeah.
I just I don't think that the running Destino has ever landed that well personally. Yeah. Whereas with the other one, he hooks the guy. There's no doubt about it. And then the other thing I like about the Destino, yes, it is slow, but like think about all the times that it creates opportunities for guys to counter it. It's not like a perfect move,
right?
But when he lands it, it's devastating. So that's my take on it. Right. I don't know. Maybe,
and that's just me being nitpicking. Like overall, I think Destino is a cool move, but I don't know.
I love the Destino. I think it's one of the most creative moves that is out there. It's one of those things where it's like, how do you even think to do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this move. Or I like this match. 12 minutes, Naito picks up a win. I think Goto had been doing really well in the tournament so far for the most part, right?
Yeah.
They're both like, this was, I think one reason, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I think one reason that this match was compelling to me in a way is the crossroads nature of the match. With, Goto being a guy who's been at the never level, mm-hmm. And how they were mentioning, they did a great, I think part of why I like this match, they were doing a great job on commentary, and they're really drawing me in with the storytelling, talking about how, half a year ago, or even further back, like back in February, Goto was cutting promos saying that the never title makes him complete.
Yeah.
And then, Naito's like, you feel complete? That's how it makes you complete, because you lose every single big match that you're in, man. And I like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got, basically Naito, who is not having the greatest 2018, So two guys that both have aspirations to be the top guy. They both have aspirations to be there. And they both have track records of losing the big ones. Mm-hmm. And this, that's what the G1's all about. It's about guys who lose the big ones having an opportunity to headline, freaking Wrestle Kingdom. So I liked the fact that there was a lot on the line, even if this wasn't the greatest match in the world. And then even the character, contrast when you... Also, both guys were cheating in this match a bit. And so, It showed the desperation. I don't know, I just liked it. Maybe I'm spending too much time on it, but yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, man. I mean, overall, it was a good match. And they worked well together. And, we'll see them again sometime down the road. Naito
picks up another win. He also might be in line for a never title challenge. Not that he would want it, but
right. He has that.
He has that.
Yeah.
You never know.
So then we're on to the main event with the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, the Best Bout Machine, Kenny Omega, taking on the Cold Skull Sonata. And this was a great main event. another great matchup for Omega, another great matchup for Sonata.
From a story perspective, it's excellent. Sonata just came off a victory off of his
beating Ibushi.
Yep.
I was like, because I went to this match unspoiled. I'm like, is Sonata going to beat the Golden Lovers?
Yeah. And also, like, Sonata, he had a fantastic title shot against Okada earlier this year. So this is like obviously not a title shot, but, you know.
If he beats Kenny, he could have, you know.
And with the fact that he just beat his tag team partner the night before, coming off of a huge, huge victory, it becomes much more plausible. Plus, there's the inner workings of the rivalry between Ibushi and Kenny Omega, which we're gearing up for that B block final between them and where are they going? Budokan. I was gonna say Korakuen.
No, big Budokan Hall.
I know it is. I just couldn't remember it. But with that being said, like these guys, it's not just about them beating each other, but it's about them night in and night out outperforming each other and being the better person from a overall standpoint. So for Kenny to potentially get a victory over Sonata, where Sonata just beat Ibushi, that's a huge thing for him.
Yeah,
it's a huge thing for that whole story. So I really thought that there was a lot of stakes added to this aspect of the match.
Yeah, and Kenny defeated Sonata, continued to be undefeated, but I thought Sonata looked really great in defeat here.
I thought Sonata looked great. This was a banger, man.
Yeah.
This was, a really, really, really good match. There was a lot of callback spots to the match with Ibushi, which I thought was smart.
Yeah, that was great storytelling. And again, like you mentioned, Omega kind of cheating a little bit. There was one spot in the match where they went to the outside and Omega went to the outside and Sonata was holding the ropes to let him back in, and Omega went back in, and then Sonata was coming back in, and Kenny kicked him as he was coming in.
Hair pulling, brawling on the
he was pulling the mohawk. Yeah.
Brawling on the outside. He did a lot of legwork on Sonata, which I thought was smart. To
cut down the springboards, the moonsaults.
Yep.
Yeah.
Psychology. Kenny out here cheating.
Oh man.
He hit him with an awesome V trigger into a J driller. That was
dude, I popped for that J driller. That was so nasty looking.
Oh. Speaking of which, so this is how I know that my friend that I was mentioning listened to our show, because she said, "What does pop mean?" And then she goes, "Is that when a guy busts a nut?" And I said, "No."
Oh my gosh.
And then I had to explain,
what a pop
was. And
you had to educate her.
Yeah, I had to smarten her up.
Yeah, smarten her up to the business.
Oh man, but I kayfabed her.
Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, but she's like, I figured. She's like, I just want to say something funny. And I was like, that's pretty funny. And I was like, I'm definitely saying this on my show. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
This is award-winning, entertainment here,
Comedy gold. But
Comedy gold.
I popped for this J driller here.
You popped for it?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna start using that in a double meaning. It's gonna get really raunchy on this show. We're gonna have to have X-rated. We're gonna have to have Unleashed episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Tuesday's the family-friendly edition, and then Thursday
Unleashed.
Young Boy Unleashed. Part of the Social Suplex Podcasting Network.
Oh my god.
The following thoughts and opinions do not reflect those of the Social Suplex Podcasting Network. Listen at your own, There's gonna be a disclaimer. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna be like, mother F. You're just gonna cuss the whole time, not even talk about anything. It's gonna get real controversial.
So it's gonna be a Tamatonga promo,
pretty much. But yeah. So anyway, so you pop for the J driller. This actually was a match where I started kind of falling in and out of sleep. I'm not gonna lie. That's where I was I saw the ending, and I know this match was a banger, but man, I've had a long week. This was a tough one. It shouldn't have been a tough one to get through. I'm gonna have to rewatch the finish here, pretty much, basically.
Yeah. Another spot I popped for was Sonata going for looks like he was going for a springboard missile drop kick, but Kenny caught him with a powerbomb. That was a nice spot.
Yeah. Sonata countered the one-winged angel into a skull into at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Which was an awesome moment. And then, him swinging around Omega, and then Omega had to avoid the moonsault. I thought that was great. I thought Omega kind of having issues with the heel throughout the match was also like a nice bit of like a little wrinkle to the storytelling.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, towards the end, Omega, started to fade out. Sonata released him, went for the moonsault, missed. They traded strikes. Omega fired up, and so did Sonata. Sonata laid in with a big uppercut. Kenny hits him with the V trigger. Sonata gets the skull end again. Omega counters out, hits a cradle tombstone for 2, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Sonata gets the skull end. I'm sorry. V trigger followed that, then a one-winged angel to counter into a reverse Rana. Omega countered the TKO into a one-winged angel and put Sonata away, which was an excellent, finish to this match.
Yeah, man.
So, Sonata looking good, not good enough. Kenny remains with a flawless, resume in this G1.
The best bout machine.
Which you got to figure, he's not a guy that people think are going to the finals.
Right. He's got to lose at some point. And
does he? What would happen if Kenny Omega won the G1?
He could. He could be the first guy to go. I don't think anybody's won it undefeated. Has that happened?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And, there was less matches back then. There wasn't 9. There was 5 or 6.
Gotcha. But, since it's been 9... probably nobody's gone.
9 matches, 10 I'm trying to remember who. I'd have to do my history, but someone has gone to the finals undefeated. I think Nakamura went a couple years back, but even then there was a smaller field, so but I don't think anyone has gone undefeated with this many matches into a final. I could see Kenny going to a final.
I could see him going to the final too. However,
I don't think he will, but it's not impossible.
Night 12, his next opponent is Sabre. I think Sabre's going to beat him.
That'd be cool.
And set up a Sabre versus Omega title shot for probably King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that's definitely a match that makes a lot of sense to me with the way that they've built up Zack Sabre Jr. I am a little bit hesitant, should he be getting a second title shot? Of course, if he's one of the only guys that beats Omega during the tournament, then yes, of course, then that's what should happen. But I am kind of he already had a title shot this year, and should Zack be losing 2 title shots? I don't know. But with that being said, who else does Kenny have left that could, benefit and headline,
a King of Pro Wrestling?
King of Pro Wrestling with him.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a recap here in just a little bit, and a slight preview. But yeah, that makes sense to me. What do you think of Sonata so far?
Dude, Sonata's been impressing me a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like he's really stepped his game up. He's been having great performances in this G1. It's probably one of his best G1 performances that I've seen. And, he's hanging with those top guys in B block. This is the banger block.
When's him and Naito? The last night?
I believe that's in Budokan, I think.
Wow.
It's one of those final 3 nights, I believe.
G1 finals are going to be dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how that's going to be. And so Sonata, after this night, Sonata, Sabre, and Ibushi are all tied 6 points. So.
And then that leaves Kenny in the lead with 10?
Yep.
Wow, so they're all trailing him by 2 matches.
Naito has 8 points.
Okay, so they got 6, Naito's got 8, Kenny's got 10, and that's gonna wrap it up for nights 8 through 10. Coming up here in the next few weeks, we've got what? Let me take a look here.
So night 11 has already happened. That happened today.
I'll take a look here at the schedule.
That was A block.
So let's do a quick recap and take a look at A block and B block and see where people stand, and then kind of just talk about what we're looking forward to and maybe even a little bit of predictions here.
All right, so after night 10, A block is Evil 4-1, 8 points. Tanahashi 4-1, 8 points. Jay White, Okada, Suzuki 3-2 with 6 points. Michael Elgin, Togi Makabe, Bad Luck Fale, 2-3, 4 points. Hangman Page, Yoshihashi, 1-4 with 2 points each.
So real quick, between now and next week's episode, we've got A block action on the 30th, B block on the 1st of August, A block on the 2nd, B block on the 4th, and then A block on the 5th. So that's going to bring us to 5 nights between now and next week. And then after that, we have B block on the 8th, A block on the 10th. That's going to be the A block final. The 11th is the B block final. And then the 12th is going to be the finals in Budokan. So we've got 2 more episodes left. 8 nights left? Mm-hmm. We're going to do 5 on
5 next week and
5 next week.
3 the following week.
Yep. So no, 4 the next week because you got the finals after the blocks are over.
Gotcha.
So we still got 9 nights left basically at this point. 5 next week, 4 the next week with the finals and the big recap. And that's going to do it for the G1 this year.
Man, it's flying by, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, and man, we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like, I've never watched a whole G1. This has been crazy.
Yeah, man. I've been one of the cherry pickers.
So, let's take a look at the blocks here and just see where we're at with things. Let me get down to 2018.
So who do you think's coming out of the A block here?
Okay. So, I'm going to just take a look at where people are at. Unfortunately, I do have the spoilers for the, for
9/11.
Yeah. So, basically, we've got Jay White, Suzuki, Okada, Evil, all tied with 8 points at this point in the tournament. And then you got Tanahashi sitting as the point leader with 10 points. Guys with only 2 points left, Hangman Page and Yoshihashi, they're
like mathematically eliminated at this point.
I'm going to guess because, let's see, we've got 3 nights left for A block.
Yeah.
So even if 6 points plus 2, that's 8. So they're both mathematically eliminated. Michael Elgin sits at 4 points, so does Togi Makabe. So even if they win the rest of their matches, they can only hypothetically tie Tanahashi. There's a good chance, I haven't done the math yet, but there's a good chance that they're mathematically out. Fale sits at 6, and he's right on the fringe. So almost half the guys are pretty much eliminated at this point. So that gives us a good indicator that we got Jay White, Suzuki, Okada, Evil, and Tanahashi left over.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I mean, where do you see that going? I mean, what I don't know what your predictions have been because I kind of forgot.
Originally I had Okada winning the overall in the A block, and I still think that's a very strong possibility.
Yeah, well, that does make a lot of sense because he's going into the the A block finals against Tanahashi who's leading. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Jay White goes to these finals. Because he's got wins over both guys, and that's a big tiebreaker. White still has Evil ahead of him, Makabe and Yoshihashi. We've also talked about Yoshihashi could hypothetically
be
play
a spoiler. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another thing to be looking out for. Evil's a guy, he's got Okada and Tanahashi and Jay White ahead of him. So he's done well this far in the tournament, but I don't think there's any feasible way he's going to the finals.
Yeah. He's got a tough stretch there.
And then, the outside dark horse, you got Suzuki. He's got Fale, Okada, and Hangman. He has a really good shot.
Yeah, he does.
If you really think about it. I mean, he'll probably lose to Okada. I think he'll beat Hangman unless Hangman spoils him. And with Fale, it's a crapshoot at this point.
Right. Who knows what's going to happen there?
I wouldn't be surprised if Fale did beat him, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we've talked about before, like, the 2 guys I think that were most likely to go to the finals were Jay White and Okada.
Yeah. I mean,
Tanahashi's right there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would be very surprised if Tanahashi went. He already went to the finals in the New Japan Cup, so, I mean, maybe.
He's ace of the universe, man.
I got a feeling. Do you think it's going to be Okada?
I still think it's going to be Okada.
I think you're probably right, but there's this other part of me that's like, it could be Jay.
Hey, it could be.
It could be Jay. It could be. So that's kind of where we're at this point. And then
I know you had mentioned you were kind of hoping to see like a fresh matchup in the finals, like somebody who hadn't been in the finals before.
that would be cool. We've seen so many fresh matchups in this tournament, though. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be too surprised if they do a big marquee matchup at Budokan Hall.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Part of me is like, it could be Jay, but then I'm like, do you do Jay White in the Budokan? You probably don't, do you? You probably do Okada.
Well, isn't it already sold out anyway?
Yeah, but it's Budokan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just the prestige and just all that sort of thing. But here's my other problem with it. It's like, do you do this Okada? I'm not feeling this Okada, man.
Well, maybe whoever he's facing brings it out on him.
It's not that it's not there. I know it's in him, but I mean, like, if he doesn't show up with Rainmaker apparel, I'm not going to be happy. Do you know how pissed I get when I hear his music start up and then all of a sudden I hear that, like, and I'm like, what's happening? You know, like, music gives you like an emotional, like, endorphin rush. And when I hear the music, I get so excited. I'm like, yeah. And then it like breaks down and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. The balloons, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Which, you know, it's fine. It's
Even
whatever.
though I've been laughing at
him hitting Rocky
with the balloons.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh man.
But I want the Rainmaker of old, man. That's what I'm used to. That's what I like. Maybe he'll bring back the shorts. Maybe he'll ascend to his final form.
I hate to break it to you, man, but I think you got to get over it, man. The shorts are not coming back. He's all in on the pants, man. Even if he goes back to being full Rainmaker, I think he's full in on
Okada's pants. Oh my God. So then that's gonna and then let me ask you this. So, you know, who's your MVP for A Block right now?
MVP for A Block. I think it's between Michael Elgin and Hangman Page.
I'm going Hangman at this point in the tournament so far. I don't think it's going to continue. Hangman, let's talk about Hangman. Yeah, he's mathematically out, but you know, at this point, Hangman has Makabe, Suzuki, and Yoshihashi. I think he can pick up another 2 wins here.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he's going to beat Makabe? And then like him and Yoshihashi's like pretty much. Yoshihashi's got Fale, Page, and Jay White. It's interesting. Some interesting stuff. I mean, nothing like super compelling, but I'm like, I mean, also with Hangman, with me calling him the MVP, that might all go to crap. He's got Makabe and Yoshihashi, and you know, you never know what's gonna happen with Hangman.
Right.
So
I don't know, like Big Mike, I feel he's just been having some really great matches in the A Block.
He has been, and I don't want to take too much away. I mean, I thought the Suzuki performance was a little lower. I did. Oh, one thing. We kind of talked crap about that match, but I did want to mention, I thought that the story where he was attacking the arm made a lot of sense. I want to throw that in there before someone jumps on the message board. It's like, you guys missed the story. No, I got the story. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, you could be right. I mean, but does that tell you something when it's like no one here's having blowaway matches? Like literally, even Elgin, who's putting on good performances, and Hangman, like they're still not having blowaways.
Yeah.
They're just not. And then let's take a look at the B block. So these guys still got 4 nights left.
Yeah. What's the point standings at?
If my iPad will catch up. So Kenny Omega's at 10 points. Naito's at 8. Then you got Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., and Sonata with 6. It looks like Tama Tonga, Juice Robinson, and Toru Yano are probably out.
Yeah.
Juice is out, Tama Tonga's out, Toru Yano, because even if they pick up another 8 points between now and then, they can only tie Kenny Omega.
Right. And they've all lost. Well, Yano hasn't faced Kenny yet, but
Tama and Juice both lost.
They've both lost to Kenny, yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
Wow. These were like the 2 guys I was kind of predicting were going to have good tournaments. I should have known, though, because I should have looked at the B block and looked at how deep this block was.
Well, Juice is having a good tournament match-wise, just not point-wise.
Yep. You know, I think a lot of people that think it's going to be Okada and Naito probably are onto something. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at Kenny Omega for a minute here, because he's got 4 matches left. So he's got Ibushi, which is going to be the finals. He's got Ishii. Woo! He's got Saber and Yano. Man.
So, who out of those guys do you think could beat Omega?
Ibushi and Zack Sabre and Yano. I'm just joking. I'm joking about Yano, although I guess you never know.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like headlining King of Pro Wrestling, you're probably right. Zack Sabre probably is that guy.
Yeah, I see Sabre winning this, beating him, and Ibushi could beat him as well.
And then just kind of going back looking at these points, Ishii's got 4 points. So I mean, Ishii and Goto both only have 4 points. They're very close to being out of this tournament. You know, they would have to win everything just to get past Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Goto's already lost to Kenny, so he has to win all the rest of his matches. Which I don't know if that's feasible. Goto still has Ibushi, Juice, Sabre, and Tamatonga. I could see him winning 2 of those, maybe 3, but not all 4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna effectively say Goto's probably out. You think Ishii's out? He's got Kenny, Juice, Sonata, and Tamatonga left.
I don't know. I feel like those still are people he could potentially beat.
Potentially, but I don't know if he's gonna win 4 matches
straight
in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the odds are pretty low that Ishii goes to any sort of final. Goto's probably out. So realistically, right now, we're looking at Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr., Kota Ibushi, and Naito and Omega. So about half that turn, we're at the halfway point, and about half the guys are done. What did I say? 4 more matches?
Yeah.
So that's what, 8 points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I mean, Sonata could win 3. Sonata, Zack Sabre, Kota Ibushi could all win about 3 more matches, and potentially, headline. Kenny's got 10 points already. Is he about to go on a losing streak?
Who knows, man? Like you said, he could. I mean, what if Kenny does go undefeated and goes to the finals and then
loses?
Yeah,
and then sets up a big
title match. Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like some WWE 1997 sort of stuff. Like Bret Hart winning the Royal Rumble, but not he ended up wrestling like Austin instead. Instead of fighting for the title. It sounds like a weird situation like that. I don't know if that's New Japan style, really. Naito, let's look at him. He's got Ibushi left. We still got Ibushi Naito, man. Still got Naito and Sabre. We still got Sonata and Yano. And he's one of the only guys that I could legitimately say I could see him beating most of, if not all, those guys.
Yeah.
Now could he lose to Ibushi and Sabre and all that? Yeah, but I could see him winning all 4 of those matches. And he's got 8 points?
Yeah.
16. I don't think he'll win all 4. Let's say he wins 3. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points. Goes to the finals. I think that's probably the way we're going. I think we're probably getting Okada and Naito.
Oh.
And I think Naito's going to win the G1. What do you think? Do you think that's your final?
That's my finals, and I also I predicted Okada beating Naito in the G1 finals. That was also based off Naito beating Kenny on night 2, and Naito winning the belt at King of Pro Wrestling.
My main thing is that if you put Naito and Okada in a match together at this point, you better freaking put Naito over.
Yeah,
you just got to at this point, because we talk all the time about a company that doesn't bury guys, long-term storytelling and all that, but at a certain point with a guy of this star caliber, you put him in a G1 final after the year he's had, and then you bury, if he loses again, then it's not a burial they're de-pushing him.
Right.
But his character, there's only so many big losses like that you can really take.
Yeah. And so if Naito wins the G1, are we looking at a Naito Omega rematch at Wrestle Kingdom?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not good at this long-term stuff. I think the real catch to all this that we're kind of forgetting and we have to take into consideration, what's going to happen with Ibushi and Omega? I think that's a question on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
And Ibushi's only got 6 points right now, and he's got Goto, he's got Naito, Tama Tonga, and then Kenny Omega. Now here's a very interesting. Did I mention on the show the whole thing about if a match ends in a no contest, nobody gets any points?
No, you mentioned it to me off here.
So I saw someone on Twitter mention this, and one of the rules that they don't talk about very often. I haven't heard them mention it on English commentary, but it is in the rules. It's verified. You get 2 points for a win in the G1. You get 1 point for a draw. 0 points for a loss. But if a match goes to a no and if you win by DQ, you get 2 points.
You're right.
But if a match goes to a no contest, meaning that neither guy wins because it's a no contest for any reason, neither guy gets points. It's different than a draw. It's not a draw. There was someone who was hypothesizing, what if Kenny and Ibushi, this would be like terrible. I hope they don't do this. But someone said, what if with the firing squad, they basically cause a no contest?
Double DQ, yeah.
And we see a very similar situation to the G1 a couple years ago when Okada and Tanahashi went to a draw and it ended up opening up a gateway for Goto to go in. Mm-hmm. What if something like that happens where Ibushi and Omega both get no contested? It screws up their points deficit or their points total, and that's how Naito gets in.
Could happen.
So, but right now, I think the most likely scenario that we're going to see is probably what? It's probably going to be
Okada, Naito.
But every time I say that, it's like, yes, it makes the most sense. But then I think, what about Kenny and Ibushi? What is that leading to? You know what? What if Ibushi beats him? And that's who we get at King of Pro Wrestling.
Wow. Didn't even think about that. Golden Lovers collide at King of Pro Wrestling. Could happen.
Well, I think that's going to do it for the G1 this week. Did you have any final takes?
No, man. It's been, overall a very great tournament. Looking forward to these next few nights of action, especially B Block.
We got one more night in July, by the way, which is today.
Yeah.
And then we will officially be able to do our match of the month.
Oh my gosh!
And our wrestler of the month.
Oh man!
And not only are we talking about the G1, we're talking about G1 in San Francisco too. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so we'll be bringing that to you next week.
Dude, I don't even know what to think about for that.
Don't. We're not going to talk about this on the air yet. Okay. We got to draw the people back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to get their money. Got your money, kid. But this is great. And then I think that we should probably work on like a recommended match list for this G1.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, before we move on, I think the toughest question right now: who's the MVP of B Block?
Dude, it's a tough one.
Well, let's talk about who it's not. Who it definitely is not.
It's not Tama Tonga.
It's not Tama Tonga. It's not Yano. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to say it's not Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
With all the great matches he's had, it's not him. And you know what?
It's not Sonata.
It's not Sonata. And I'm going to say this too. It's not Goto.
Yeah.
As great as his matches have been, the guys that you're looking at right now are Ibushi, Ishii, Kenny, and Zack Sabre. Those are your four guys. Before we move on, let's have a discussion about this. Who's the MVP?
I don't know, man. All four of those guys have been having phenomenal matchups. I think for me...
and we didn't mention... where do you think Naito lands? Because I overlooked him.
Oh, you didn't mention him?
I said Ibushi, Ishii, Omega, and Zack Sabre.
Oh, yeah.
And then you also got Naito. Is Naito in the mix with those guys right now in terms of just pure match quality?
I think the Goto match brought him, before the Goto match, I would have said yes, but the Goto match kind of brought him down a little bit for me.
Okay.
For me, I'm stuck between Ishii and Omega.
Well, let's do this. Let's make it easy, okay? Ibushi, great match. We'll just do a great match count just to make it real easy right now.
Okay.
Ibushi, Ishii, great match. Ibushi Robinson, great match. Ibushi Sabre, great match. Ibushi Sonata, great match. Ibushi Yano, enjoyable match. Mm-hmm. Nothing bad there so far. He hasn't wrestled Tonga yet, though, so he's got that on some of the other guys. You go with Ishii, you got the Goto match. Great match. The Ibushi match is a great match. The Naito match is a great match. The Sabre match is a great match. And the Ishii match, or the Yano match, is also an enjoyable match. I would literally, you're putting him right there in the same conversation as Ibushi. You look at Naito, he's got duds. Tama Tonga, The Robinson match is okay. The Omega match, classic. The Ishii match is great. And he's got the Goto, the Ishii, and the Omega under his resume, but you got 2 duds so far.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's not of the same standard of work that Ibushi and Ishii have put out during this tournament. And then with Omega, you got the Goto match, you got the Naito match, you got the Juice match, the Sonata match. But where he's hurting, and I think everyone's going to be in this case eventually, but that Tama Tonga match brings him down. And do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you put the matches those 4 matches he's had so far up to the same level of scrutiny? I think if you want to play, let's play devil's advocate. Let's take away the Yano matches.
Okay.
And if you're just comparing apples to apples, with Ibushi, Ishii, and Omega, let's hold off on that. So they each got 4 great matches. And then when you look at Zack Sabre, Ibushi, Ishii, Sonata, Tama, and Yano, but it was probably the best Yano match of the tournament. Would you agree?
That or the Ishii Yano match.
Yeah. I also really liked the Ibushi match. I'm going to say no on Zack right now. I'm going to pass on Zack.
Okay.
Just because, yes, all these matches were really good. The Ibushi match and the Sabre match, those were 2 of my favorite matches at the tournament. But when you're talking about pure star rating scale, and as good as he's had different types of performances all throughout, and he might end up still being the MVP, but at this point, I'm going to say no on Sabre. And you know what? I'm very close to saying no on Omega, bro.
I think it's Ishii.
Do you think it's Ishii right now?
I think so, man.
Over Ibushi. Okay, well let's take a little bit of a deeper look.
Ishii hasn't had
Ishii's
Tama
had 2 very close to 5-star matches with Ibushi and Goto.
Yeah.
And then that Naito match is probably 4.5,
yeah,
4 3/4, very close to that.
Sabre match.
The Sabre match is easily
4.5,
4 or more. Then you look at Ibushi, and Ibushi's had very fantastic performances too, but I wouldn't say they're the same level.
You wouldn't say Ibushi's on the same level as Ishii?
In terms of just pure, objective quality of matches, this tournament, no.
Yeah, so it has to be Ishii.
Over Omega and Ibushi.
Yeah.
Over Naito and Zack Sabre.
Yeah.
Holy...
The Stone Pitbull, man.
Holy crap. Ishii, we haven't really talked about this, but Ishii's the MVP of B-Block right now.
Maybe he's the real best bout machine.
This is why people love Ishii, bro.
He's been reading the psychology book.
But then, I don't want to discount Omega, because Omega has had close to 5-star performances too, so he's right there.
Yeah, dude. B-Block is where it's at, man.
And he's undefeated, so if you're talking kayfabe, it's really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, B-Block's where it's at. Right now, I got Ishii as the MVP.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I'm surprised by that a little bit. Because I kind of thought I was going to, we were going to say Omega or Ibushi, but it's Ishii right now.
Yeah, man. Don't forget about the Stone Pitbull.
All right. Well, let's move on. So we got the latest news and things like that.
Yeah, let's get this news cranking.
So you want me to kick it off?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Tama Tonga. So what's up with this dude? We talked about his Twitter last week and, all the controversy with him and the fans. Looks like this dude just kept getting into it with people last week. And what happened there?
And so eventually Twitter gave a temporary suspension of his account. He could still see tweets, but he couldn't tweet out or send direct messages. So they suspended his account for, I think it was 11, 12 hours, something like that. And then eventually he was free, and he was tweeting stuff like, I'm free from Twitter jail. I'm going to find whoever the snitch was, or the rat that got me locked in Twitter jail.
He was talking about the rat.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to find you, rat, whatever.
And then what was the deal with him and, because you're bigger on the Twitter stuff, obviously. I don't even know when we get tweets as a show. What's up with him and Roman?
Well, they were kind of retweet, trash talking each other, I think, before the suspension. Then after the suspension, Roman had quote tweeted like one of his tweets and then was like saying that like Tama had stolen his promo from like a song, and then Tama like quote tweeted that and he was like, "I found the rat."
The stooge.
Yeah, he's like this been talking crap about Roman, so they kind of like been going back and forth on Twitter, kind of talking smack to each other. And lately, Tama's been like doing like the fist Roman Reigns Superman punch symbol.
I love that.
And yeah, he's been trying. He even in one of the matches he tried doing a Superman punch, but he failed.
I'll tell you, when we were in New Orleans and I watched Walter wrestle Filthy Tom Lawler. As weird as that sounds, Filthy Tom literally like did a Superman punch and the whole crowd booed. So then he went into the corner and then he pounded his fist on the mat and he charged up, and I was like, this is like it was the perfect crowd to do it to. Like just the smarkiest of smark indie fans who just hate Roman Reigns at WrestleMania weekend. So like anytime anyone does that now, like I'm gonna pop for it. Like I love it. I saw Roman basically like he like Tama said something about talk some crap to Roman, and then Roman's like, well, by me retweeting you, I basically just like double
increased the views of your video. And then Tama was like, oh, something about like, your bark is not getting you over in your yard. Like, try and come over to my yard. My yard has no fences. Like, I run free, something like that.
Man, he'd get whooped by Roman. I don't even like Roman Reigns, but yeah, he'd murk.
Tama.
You know what? Remember when I joked about him coming over being the leader of the Bullet Club?
Who, Roman?
Yeah. He should just come over here and be part of the firing squad. You want to talk about them getting heat?
Oh my God.
Them having a leader? What if they let Roman Reigns join the Bullet Club? Oh my God. They probably do. That'd probably be like one of the most classic like storylines.
Dude, that would like melt the internet.
All the New Japan fanboys would like, their hearts would melt. All the WWE fanboys that love Roman would literally come flocking. It would change the whole like spectrum of wrestling. Like, oh my God.
Oh man.
Anyways, moving on. So, in New Japan news, so Kevin Kelly was recently quoted this last week as saying that New Japan bringing New Japan Pro Wrestling World to Roku and Apple TV is one of the top priorities of New Japan staff right now. So those of you who have Roku, like myself, or Apple TV for you Apple users out there, which you suck. Hey. Yo, Galaxy's where's that, dog?
Bro, let's not even, I don't even want to start this.
Yo, y'all WWE, we New Japan.
Nah, bro. Apple's where it's at, man.
Nah.
Apple's B block.
Nah, man. You got them scripted promos. We got the real promos. You know what I'm saying? But
oh man.
For those of you who are looking for more accessibility of the app and ways to stream it, they're working on it. And I believe Kevin Kelly don't lie. So if he says they're going to do it, it's on its way. So that's awesome. We've got ticket information about Fighting Spirit Unleashed coming up.
Yeah, so the tickets for the upcoming Fighting Spirit Unleashed event will be going on sale next week. New Japan announced that the tickets will go on sale August 1st, which is Wednesday of this week, actually.
I think it's the same day that the Bola tickets go on sale.
Yeah, so Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Prices start at $50 and will go as high as $3. $300.
I was like, what? As high as $3?
High as $300.
Yo, we need to make it out there.
And that's for arena premium gold seats.
Yeah, I know like fans in the SoCal area are like literally like their hearts are breaking because they got to kind of at this point like almost choose for a lot of them between Bola or Fighting Spirit Unleashed.
Yeah.
And you know what you're getting with Bola if you can even get a ticket.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Bola's so hard to get a ticket to. It's like a great, like, fallback.
Yeah, shout out to co-host of Grown Men Watch This Shit, Chris Bryan. He's going to be stateside. He's going to Bola.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Tate's trying to go, too.
Man, lucky dogs. Lucky dogs. Yeah, but, for those of you who maybe aren't as fortunate, this show will probably be worth checking out. We don't know much about it yet. Is that the Walter Pyramid? We don't know.
The only thing we know, the poster has the big four: Omega, Okada, Naito, and Tana.
Where's Chase? The big five.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we also have a health update on Hiromu Takahashi. So I believe earlier this past week there was some news that kind of was broken about this. They discussed it in the Observer, but apparently Hiromu is still in the hospital. It's been at this point more than 20 days, and that's not necessarily a good sign.
Yeah. At first it seemed like things were kind of looking good there, but
the idea that he doesn't have to have surgery is
that's good.
That's very, very, very good. But Hiromu even had released some tweets and had basically a message for the fans, thanking them for their support. I also saw Dragon Lee put out a heartfelt message regarding this, talking about how it was an accident and that, he hopes to wrestle, Hiromu again in the future, that all the best matches of his most spirited matches of his career came from Hiromu. I know the whole wrestling community is behind Hiromu when it comes to this thing, but this was a tragic thing that happened, and hopefully it's something that has a positive outcome. I know that the Observer talked about Harold Mai.
Yeah, Harold Mai visited him in the hospital,
but we haven't heard too much more. Just that he is talking, he's responsive, but he's still in the hospital, and I mean that's kind of serious.
Yeah. So yeah, hoping that eventually this will turn around and he can go home.
Yeah. Get your health in order. When you're ready, please come back. We love you, but the most important thing is your health. So,
yeah.
Other news, Roppongi 3K visited the health center, visiting sick children and people in need. There was an awesome write-up about that on the New Japan NJPW 1972 website, so if you get a chance, check that out. The free match of the week is Kazuchika Okada taking on Evil from G1 27 last year. It's the free match of the week. That match, excellent match. I believe that's the match that ended up getting Evil a title shot, King of Pro Wrestling last year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's a close to 5-star match. So if you want to get some free content, you don't have New Japan World, it's for free. It's on YouTube. It's on the NJPW World website. It's a free match. Check it out. Jado is injured again. Go figure.
Yeah, he was on this tour as on the undercard tag team matches, teaming with Chaos guys.
Jato's like, dang, I got to go back to work. I believe he hurt his heel or his foot.
Yeah, something like that. Jado was like, I'm hurt. Jato's like, for real?
It doesn't seem to be anything too serious. He is off the rest of the tour, but thankfully it's not something that's going to keep him out of action long term. You had mentioned to me, Jeremy, that Axis is starting to air the G1 matches. Is that for this G1?
Yes. So the G1 coverage started on July 27th with Tanahashi versus Suzuki and Okada versus Jay White. The August 3rd show will have Ibushi versus Sabre and Omega versus Naito. The August 10th show will have Ishii versus Naito and Omega versus Goto. The August 17th show has Tanahashi against Bad Luck Fale and Okada against Hangman Page. The August 24th show will have Omega versus Tama Tonga and Ishii versus Goto.
Great.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, for you super cherry pickers out there who don't have New Japan World, Access looks like it's going to be your best bet on cherry picking some of the
do
better
yourself
matches.
a favor, guys. Get New Japan World. It's $9.99 yen a month, which is less than $10. It's the best $10 you will spend, except for the $10 you're going to spend on our Patreon to support this comedy goal and everything that we do for you guys week in and week out. Just so you guys know, we do this for free, and we put a lot of work into it. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but we really do. So all jokes aside, but with that being said, what would you rather have? Your Access television show that just has a couple selected matches and you got to listen to Jim Ross? Or do you want to hear Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero give you some of the best commentating in the sport today?
I want to hear Double K, Kevin Kelly.
Double K.
I want to heir
Double K. K to the E to the double L-Y.
Ain't he great?
Oh my God, I've never heard that. Bro, you're stupid. Oh my God.
Off the top of my head. Double K and Rocky Romero, double R.
Oh my God, I just popped in my pants.
Oh my.
Last week, someone actually commented. They said like that they liked our show because like they can listen to it with our family. I'm like, we're blowing that up this week. Anyways, so yeah, so do yourself a favor, get New Japan World and listen to Kevin Kelly, listen to Double K. Yo, he's gonna be K double.
K double, yeah, like Austin Aries with A double, yeah.
Don Callis will unfortunately be missing the G1 finals, all 3 shows.
Yeah, there are Impact tapings on August 12th and August 13th. So Callis will not be there for the final 3 nights of the G1. So it will be Kevin Kelly, K-Double, and Rocky Romero as the broadcast team. Callis is expected back for the big shows going forward as the way the tapings work and New Japan big shows fall. There won't be another date conflict for the rest of the year as things stand right now.
Speaking of which, if you are listening to the show and you want to get into the podcast game, we are looking for someone who is passionate that wants to cover Impact, because apparently our friends who are Impact marks aren't doing shows for us. We would like to get coverage for that show.
Yeah.
So hit us up.
I mean, shout out to Rich. He had some Impact coverage on One Nation Radio.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time ever.
Well, he kind of floated the idea, maybe him and Bathtub Baldwin doing a little deal. But I don't know if he has the time to do it. I don't know if either of those guys do. So we're looking for someone. This is a hot product right now, boys. So, if you want,
hop on, man.
Yeah. Maybe some MLW coverage. I don't know. But that's going to do it for the New Japan portion of the news. In other news, we talked about Matt Riddle the last couple weeks. It is pretty much known now he's going to WWE, he's going to NXT. I mean, I even saw a CZW poster this week where they're like, this is his last match before he goes to WWE. So I was like, yeah, it's really not a subtle thing anymore.
And he was on X-Pac 12360 last week and talking about who he would potentially like to face in NXT and working that what he would have to change and the style that he would work in NXT. So,
well, according to the Observer report, there have been speculations about what offers were made to him. Apparently, via the Wrestling Observer, newsletter, he was offered a contract with New Japan, and it was not just a domestic use.
Right. Well, the first deal they offered him was the U.S. only, but then they came back with another offer for all the big shows.
Yeah. So he turned that down. He is NXT bound, and WWE's going to keep swallowing up the indies.
Yeah.
Battle lines are drawn, boys. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, in one way it might be bad, but another way it's good because it gives guys a chance to step in those spots. And, the Matt Riddle leaving, Ricochet, Keith Lee, those are spots opening for guys to step up.
Yeah. Aaron Nova.
Yeah.
Rod Grimes.
Snoop strikes.
Troy Hollywood.
Yeah, shout out to Snoop, man. He's killing it at MLW.
All the Florida boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have sad news. Alex Shelley has retired from pro wrestling.
Yeah, man. This was really sad for me.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
I was a big fan of Alex Shelley and the Motor City Machine Guns. I started seeing Alex Shelley in early Ring of Honor when he was part of the Embassy, and then teaming with Abyss, and then going on into TNA. I pretty much seen his whole TNA run when he was doing the Paparazzi Productions.
Yeah.
With that whole stuff with Kevin Nash, and then forming the Motor City Machine Guns with Chris Sabin, and then formed the Time Splitters with Kushida. So, man, Alex Shelley, I mean, I when I was doing my backyard / underground wrestling days as John Juris, I took his submission finisher, the Border City Stretch, which is also the Gargano Escape now. I use that as my submission finisher. So Alex Shelley was definitely a guy that influenced the way I would wrestle, and a guy that I watched. I enjoyed watching.
Maybe the way you do wrestle.
Yeah. Maybe.
We'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, he had some very poignant thoughts. He announced this via Twitter, and he talked about how he was glad that his final match was against the Young Bucks
and Roppongi 3K.
So, hopefully things go good with Alex. I've heard people say that this might just be a temporary retirement, but we'll see. We'll see where it lands. Don Callis and Scott D'Amore earlier this week, I read some comments that they talked about how they're changing the philosophy of their wrestling booking. Obviously, Impact is a company that's doing things a lot different than other U.S.-based companies right now, which is pretty cool. One thing that they mentioned, though, I thought was worth mentioning was that they said that they're changing their philosophy on heels. And I don't know if you've been following the product at all. I know
I'm subscribed to the Lanza TV reviews, so I've been getting the Impact stuff on there. And then a lot of podcasts are covering Impact now, especially after Slammiversary. So I've been kind of keeping up what's going on there.
One thing that they said I thought was just super cool, really interesting, was that they're like, we're not afraid to let heels win clean.
Yeah.
How are you going to have bad guys built up if they can't win clean? And, that's something that plagues, big companies like WWE. You only have, these, cowardly, chicken crap heels. And then you've got, a company over here, they're letting guys get clean wins that are heels. And that's booking 101.
Yeah, look at Slammiversary. Austin Aries, he's the top heel there. Everybody thought he was going to drop the belt to Moose, but no.
Yep. So that's interesting. Speaking of Impact, Taiji Ishimori wrestled Petey Williams on the latest Impact. I heard nothing but good things about that match.
I need to get my hands on that match.
I don't know if how much longer Ishimori will be doing shots for them, but really cool that New Japan has lent him as a talent to them, considering that the Noah situation kind of broke down. We still don't know where Ishimori falls on this whole Bullet Club thing. I think that's gonna be something very interesting to look into after G1 is over, maybe even towards the G1 finals. He could be coming back any day now,
right? Depending we don't know if he's working those 8/12 and 8/13 tapings.
We'll see.
Yeah, if he's not, then maybe.
RevPro has the British J Cup coming up soon, and they did just announce that all 3 members of Roppongi 3K will be involved in this tournament. So Rocky Romero, as well as Sho and Yo.
Yeah, I also saw that Taguchi
is in it. I didn't catch that. Okay. Yeah. So they got Liger, Roppongi 3K, and Taguchi.
Yeah.
It's like British J Cup, but they got a bunch of Japanese guys. So that'll be good. They just announced this past week that the Young Bucks will be wrestling LAX. They're the Impact Tag Team Champions, right?
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Santana and Ortiz.
They're going to be wrestling on the Jericho Cruise. So, man, this Jericho Cruise really...
Yeah, and Jericho said last week that there is no stream. If you want to watch this thing, you got to come on the boat. So all these awesome matches will not be streamed.
Sure, Jericho. There's no stream, but guess what? I bet you...
There'll be a DVD.
There'll be something that comes out.
There'll be a DVD.
There'll be something that comes out. This man's a finesser, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways,
that man's trying to sell the boat out, man.
In other news, we do have sad news. This past Sunday was a big hit to the wrestling community. 4 wrestling deaths all on the same day. Brian Christopher, famed member of Too Cool and son of Jerry the King Lawler, passed away this past weekend. Nikolai Volkov, legend of wrestling, had many stints in New Japan, classic matches with Inoki in the 70s, different things like that. Brickhouse Brown, who apparently was, I'm not even too familiar with Brickhouse Brown, but, he's supposed to be like a revolutionary wrestler for, Black Pro Wrestling and, a very influential figure when it comes to that. And then Tracy Cattle, who was the father of Trevor Lee and was an independent wrestler, very closely aligned with the Omega promotion that was started in the North Carolina area
by the Hardys. Yeah.
The Hardys. All 4 of these individuals passed away this Sunday.
Yeah,
just
man.
On Sunday.
Sad stuff, man. So thoughts and prayers go out to all of those families.
In news concerning interviews, so Flip Gordon did an interview this past week with WrestleZone Radio. Very interesting stuff. He talked a lot about, All In, New Japan, Ring of Honor. Very interesting stuff. You might want to check that out. Y2J has been all over the media this week. He was on the Ross Report talking about New Japan, talking about WWE. Same thing. He did a write-up with SportsIllustrated.com this past week, talking about the differences with his character between the 2 companies and what the future holds for him. You definitely want to check that out. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers, Ultimo Dragon.
Dude, was on Talk is Jericho. I caught that, man.
How was that?
That was great, man. Ultimo speaks great English.
Really?
Yeah. And, it was just great listening to him and talking about the stories about him getting started and,
If he talks so good, if he has such good English, why did he need Sonny Ono?
Because Ono was a friend of Bischoff.
No, but for real, what else, what did he talk about?
I thought it was hilarious that when he was in WWE, when he was on SmackDown, he drove with John Cena, the Basham brothers, and Tajiri and Funaki.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an interesting mix of guys.
I remember Cena talking about that when he was on Talk is Jericho a few years back, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great stories about this. You know, when he was in Japan, the whole reason he went to Mexico is like they told him he was too small. You know, and they had enough small guys. Like they had Liger, they had Benoit, Guerrero. They're like, we don't need no small guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ultimo Dragon, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, former J Crown winner, you know, of WCW fame. You know, he's one of the most revolutionary like junior heavyweights of all time. You know, when you talk about his influence and you talk about Toryumon, you talk about Dragon Gate, that all stems from the work that Ultimo Dragon did. So, right. I mean...
And I had no idea that Ultimo trained Okada.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
So, yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, Jericho didn't know that either. He was like, yeah, I trained, you know, Okada. And Jericho was like, Okada? He's like, yeah, Kazuchika.
They talk about it on commentary.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't miss it, but...
I specifically remember when they were talking about it during the Zack Sabre match as well as the Sonata match, talking about like Muda versus... you know, Ultimo, you know, or like when they talked about, you know, the style of Mexican submission wrestling that was taught to him by Ultimo Dragon. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Rocky Romero did an interview this past week with the Orlando Sentinel. We still got to get him on the show.
Yeah, I need to hit him up again.
But, you know, he talked about the difference between WWE and New Japan, kind of being an ambassador for the brand. So that was really cool. We got some news coming out of the world of WWE. This past week, it was mentioned that there are people that are very, very, very interested in reacquiring the talents of one Juice Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, WWE, they weren't doing anything with that guy in NXT. He was a jobber to all the stars in NXT. Juice wasn't down with that. Went to the New Japan Dojo, became a big star, and now that he's become a big star, they want him back. So Juice has said in interviews that he's very happy in New Japan and he really has no interest in going back to WWE. So it will be interesting if that will still be the case if WWE decides to make him a big money offer.
Yeah, I mean, he recently did an interview where he's like, I'm never going back. Yeah. I ain't never going back. So I believe him. I believe Juice.
I mean, when you get the creative freedom that you get in New Japan, it's kind of hard to give that up, even if you are getting millions and millions of dollars.
You know, there are guys who left and it opened up, you know, to WWE a few years ago. We'll talk about more on that here in a moment. But, you know, it opened up doors for other guys to step up into those spots. Mm-hmm. Look at Kenny Omega, for instance, specifically. You know, I don't know if you get... Obviously, Kenny Omega is going to be Kenny Omega, but you don't get Kenny Omega if you don't see AJ Styles leaving and Nakamura. They got to fill those holes.
Yeah.
You know, if Juice is smart, probably right now is not the time to go. Because guess what? If Kenny goes, who's stepping into that Gaijin role?
Right.
You got him, you got Jay White. Those are the guys that are poised. So, very interesting, though, that WWE doesn't want... They're trying to snuff out anything. You know? They see this guy, they're like, nope, Matt Riddle, get him. Juice Robinson, get him. They're like a kid who doesn't want anyone else to have any toys.
They're like Thanos right now, trying to collect all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I actually saw
a meme of that with Vince with on Thanos' face.
Yeah, they had Nakamura, the freaking all the guys from the club.
Yeah.
On the Infinity Gauntlet, and then Juice was in the center. So that's funny. Speaking of rumors, so Nakamura, AJ Styles, and both guys from the club. What are they called? Guns and Gallows.
Yeah, the Good Brothers.
Good Brothers. All four of their contracts are coming up very shortly. And there's rumblings that New Japan is going to try to make a play to get Shinsuke Nakamura back to Japan.
Yeah. And also, from what I've been hearing, Machine Gun hates WWE and wants to go back to New Japan, while Luke Gallows is happy and wants to stay.
Well, you know, he loves Asia. He's got a hot Asian wife.
I mean, freaking Carl Anderson was a guy that was in the finals
of the G1.
Yeah. And now he can barely get a match on SmackDown.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he came back. I don't think AJ's coming back.
Dude, how interesting was that Bullet Club storyline be if Machine Gun comes back to help the firing squad?
We'll see. I'm more interested at this point though in Nakamura. What would happen if Nakamura came back? I hope he does. What if we just trade U.S. champions? We get Nakamura, they get Juice. It's a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. This past week, because you watched SmackDown more. Orton's on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
So he did an interview where he was referencing the Bullet Club, and it kind of like drew some heat from fans. And Cody kind of
it's your typical like anti-indie promo where he was like, the reason I'm doing this, you guys don't respect me. He's like, is it because I don't, steal a hand gesture? And he was doing it too sweet. It's because I don't like paint my face and throw my arms in the air. And he's like talking about like all this indie stuff and pretty much, is saying the reason why WWE fans don't respect him is because he was not an indie guy, pretty much. And then one fan like kind of tweeted Cody Rhodes and it was like, man, you need to like pretty much flame Orton for like all the stuff he was saying about indie guys on SmackDown. And Cody was like, no, man, like Orton was a guy that really helped me get my break in wrestling and with legacy and all that stuff. He's like Orton could call me whatever he wanted and I would still respect him and be thankful for him.
Speaking of anti-indie, so this past week, I guess there's a new season of Total Divas coming out.
Yeah.
And they released an advertisement where they said that the Total Divas are all in.
Yeah.
I actually saw some Twitter tweets from some of the girls, and they were like, literally, like, we were kind of shocked. And they didn't really say embarrassed, but it seemed like they were kind of saying, like, we were sort of embarrassed that they did that. Like, they were not aware that the marketing department was going to do that.
Right.
And it just seems like it's kind of petty, man.
I'm not sure. Like,
do you think it's like just a rib sort of thing?
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not sure if like what version of WWE's marketing department works on Total Divas. Like, I'm not sure if it's the same. If that's E's marketing department or if it's WWE's.
Man, the way they had the big, I saw the ad and it said all.
Because it would have surprised me if it was the E channel just doing market research and seeing that all in is like a top keyword among wrestling fans right now.
Possibly.
And just like, I'm sure people at the E channel have no idea that all in's happening.
I just think it's kind of funny. That's all. I'm not like.
No, I'm just saying it is funny, but I'm like wondering like. If
but it is a little petty.
It is. Yeah.
Welcome to Pettyville.
Yeah. Shout out James Boy.
So Miko Satomura, who is regarded as one of the OGs of women's Joshi, literally one of the top 3 or 4 best women's workers, if not the best, is also on her way along with Io Shirai to
Mae Young Classic.
So
that's Mae Young Classic is going to be lit this year. A lot of great women's wrestlers in that tournament.
That's what they said last year. It was good, right?
Yeah, tournament was good. Like, you didn't watch it, did you?
Not really.
Yeah, tournament was good.
Yeah, I was watching Shine. I was watching Wave. I was watching Ice Ribbon. I don't got time for that crap. Anti-WWE. No, I'm just playing. Like, no, I never got caught up with it, to be honest with you. Life got in the way. What? I don't remember when it was, but yeah,
it was last summer.
Yeah, I think I was watching G1, man. So I don't know. But yeah, so Miko Satomura, I hope we get a match with her and Io Shirai. For those of you who are not familiar with their work, do yourself a favor. It's for free. It's on YouTube. Watch Io Shirai versus Miko Satomura. It's like one of the greatest women's matches you'll see in the last like decade. And that's not hyperbole. If you like, like the classic NXT women's matches, you'll be blown away by this match. I promise.
I think we're going to see a lot of great matches coming out the Mae Young Classic this year.
And then there's been some comments from Kenny Omega kind of discussing Roman Reigns and discussing the WWE. He spoke with Mel Magazine talking about, the booking philosophies of WWE versus New Japan and his take on Roman Reigns. And like, man, I'm starting to think the Elite's going, bro. And I remember I said this like when we first started the show. I was like, yo, I think they're going next year. And you're like, nah, but like all signs are kind of pointing towards that.
Which is funny that you mentioned this because somebody on Twitter like tweeted to Cody Rhodes that they got the Cody and Kenny pops, but apparently I guess I think maybe it was Hot Topic was running a deal where you buy two 2 pops, you get 1 free. So in the picture, you had the Cody and Kenny pop in front, and in the back, you had the Vince McMahon pop.
Oh, are you serious?
And Cody like retweeted it with the eyes like.
Who would buy a Vince McMahon pop? That exists.
Well, if it's free, why not?
I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah. There's all WWE, pretty much all superstars in WWE have a pop. The big stars.
I don't know. I'm just a little surprised by that. So very interesting. If you get a chance, check out the stuff with Kenny Omega on Mel Magazine and see his take on WWE. He's getting part of it is like there's a lot of people who are just inquiring, but that's what they're asking about is WWE, and he's talking about it a lot. So very interesting. G1 Supercard is coming up, and we've got pre-sale information. This is your chance. If you want to go to the G1 Supercard in 2 days, by the time this is recorded, and you'll be listening to it on Tuesday morning, you have to be signed up for Honor Club and subscribed before August 1st. You got 1 day, guys, to sign up. If you sign up, then at midnight on August 1st, Wednesday, they will be sending a custom one-time use pre-sale code to ensure the best seats before they go on sale to the public. The custom G1 Supercard pre-sale code will be delivered to your email address, linked to your Honor Club account. Codes will be sent in the days prior to the Wednesday, August 8th pre-sale, and it will be valid for one purchase of up to 8 tickets. So if you and your friends or buddies, or you want to run a racket and you want to sell these tickets to people, this is your chance. The pre-sale is going to begin Wednesday, August 8th at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster, with general on sale going on sale Friday, August 10th at 10 a.m. Don't miss your chance to experience this historic event. G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and we've been on the Honor Club, so it looks like we'll be the Social Suplex Connect for all the guys that are trying to go to New York next year.
Someone's got to be like ready to, I'll be at work. I won't be able to purchase those tickets, but
I'll be ready. I'll be able to do it.
We got to get ticket info. We still don't know how much this is going to cost, so that's one thing. But Global Wars is coming up in November. Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling Global Wars, November 7th, 8th, 9th, and 11th. Some matches have been announced, but nothing major yet, so we'll keep you posted. But, hopefully these are better than the War of the Worlds tour, which kind of sucked this year.
Yeah.
Did you hear the news about Cody helping out a fan on Twitter?
Yeah, there was a fan that tweeted out, and it was like, I got tickets for All In, but I don't have the money to get a plane ticket or a place to stay. And then Cody responded like, what's your PayPal? And pretty much got in contact with the guy and helped the guy out.
Yeah, so, that's great heel work.
Hey, he's a babyface now, man.
Oh, that's right. He's a babyface. Yo, he's still a heel to me. But anyways, Flip Gordon has re-signed with Ring of Honor until 2020. So that was just announced earlier today. So they see a future with the kid, which is good.
I mean, I think Flip Gordon is one of those guys that need to invest in. I think he's
found a home.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a future superstar for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Y2J was kind of making some teasing announcements this past week. Someone asked him, will we see him on the Madison Square Garden show? Will he be reappearing soon with the IC title? Which, spoiler alert, New Japan does have an IC title. It's white. It's got gold plates. It does exist. It's just, Jericho brought it back to America away from all the filthy animals. I actually saw a GIF earlier today where someone said literally a reenact. It was a GIF or it was a meme, and it was a reenactment of Jericho and how he's treated the IC title, and it was Tuxedo Mask.
Oh.
And he was like, my work here is done. And then Tillerman's like, but you didn't do anything. And then he just takes off and he's holding the IC title.
That's hilarious.
So Jericho was asked if he was going to appear on the show. We'll be seeing the IC title soon. And then he just kind of did like a working the fans.
Working us, yeah.
Also, someone asked him if we'll be seeing him involved with the Impact in any way or anytime soon, since it's becoming big and it's based out of Toronto. And he said, something. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but something like "never say never."
Right.
Don Callis is his boy, so
yeah.
Basically, we're gonna see like a Fozzy concert at like
Bound for Glory. Well, Fozzy was already had a theme song for Impact one time, way back when it was like TNA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
we got the news earlier this past week that Bandito
Yes.
is all in.
Yes.
And not only that, we got an announcement for one of the biggest matches of All In, something we've been waiting for. Who are the Bucks going to face? And it's not just the Bucks.
It's the Golden Elite, the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi in a 6-man tag against Rey Fenix, Bandito, and the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah, when you want to talk about dream matches that could only happen one time, this is the kind of crap that I'm talking about. This just brought my excitement level for All In way up here. Oh my God, Bandito, bro. And Phoenix and Rey Mysterio, like, that's once in a lifetime. It's never going to probably happen again. Taking on, the Golden Elite. So, and who knows after G1's over, how long this Golden Elite thing's going to keep going.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. We have to get our money ready to throw in the ring after this match.
We're gonna be too far away. We have good seats, but we're not gonna be close enough, Jeremy. Like I don't want to. We can throw it at like the closest fan, and maybe they'll throw it forward. But
yeah,
we're not. That's about it. Also, like people that do that, they're just simple marks, anyways. Like we're not in Tijuana, man.
Yeah.
Actually, like I would love to do it. I'm just jealous. Like I don't have good seats. We're lucky we got seats.
I know. Yeah.
Oh man, and then
this match was made on Being the Elite.
Yeah, let's talk about Being the Elite, episode 113.
Birthday wish. So yeah, this match was like the big birthday wish for Nick Jackson. It was his 29th birthday. Mm-hmm. And he was like, usually they have to get, 3 thumbs up on all the matches between Matt, Nick, and Cody. But he was like, no, man, this is my birthday. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah, so this is a great match. One thing I like about it is I was expecting to get a Pentagon and Phoenix mix for a tag team, but now that this is the match, Phoenix is solo. Or I'm sorry, Pentagon is solo. Who the crap is he gonna wrestle? That makes me very excited. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that he could end up wrestling that I'm like, whoo. It's too bad. Man, it's too bad it can't be Okada. I still want Okada, but it could be Kenny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that could be like, man, what if it's Kenny versus Pentagon Jr. for the IWGP title?
Oh my gosh, bro. Oof. But speaking of Okada and his matchup, he's facing Marty Scurll, and he was on Being the Elite this week, and somebody asked him, like, can we get your thoughts on facing Marty Scurll? He's like, he's short, he's small, he's a junior heavyweight. I'm going to beat him. This is going to be his last match before 205 Live. And then he hits the camera with the balloon.
Also on the episode, we saw Juice kind of like strolling around, and he ran into Taka.
Yeah, he's like,
hey, Taka, used to be back in WWF back in the 90s, right? He's like, yeah, way back. He's like, let me ask you something, Val Venus, you really choppy that pee-pee? He's like, yeah. He's like,
and one more.
He's like, and one more. He's like, who'd you choppy? He's like, oh man, I forget. It was a long time ago. He's like, who you choppy, Taka? And he's like, I can't say. It's a long time ago. He's like,
Flash Funk?
He's like, all right, I'm gonna say Flash Funk then.
He's like, I don't remember. He's like, I'm saying Flash Funk. You said it.
How about this stuff with Hangman, man?
Yeah, so Hangman, he's only won one match in the G1 by Dookie, and he came to Kenny. He's like, man, Kenny, like, how are you doing it? You're undefeated in the G1, winning all your matches. He's like, you gotta let me know, man. What are you doing? And then Kenny's like, I've been cheating. Well, he's like, not exactly, but I do have a secret.
He's like, the will to win. And it's like literally like a book that says the will to win. He's like, can I have that? And he's like, I will share the secret with you after the G1. And he's like, what? But I kind of need it now. He's like, dude, you got 2 points. Like, you're kind of done. And he's like, I could go undefeated, become an all-time legend. He's like, Kenny, I need it now. Like,
he's like, I would kill somebody for this book.
He's like, you would take a human life? He's like, yeah, like a murderer maybe. And he's like, all right, here you go. You can have the book. Yeah. Here's the thing about Hangman Page. You ever watch oh man, what's that show? What, I literally have like the best analogy and I cannot think of it. Hold on. Talk about another bit and I'll get back to it here in just 1 second.
The funny thing too about that scene was Kenny was like reading the book with sunglasses on. Did you notice that?
Twin Peaks. Yeah. He was wearing the glasses. Also, like, Hangman was trying to give him some ham.
Yeah.
He's like, you can have my ham. He's like, I don't want your ham.
It's like, you can have the book and you can keep your hair.
Also, like, Hangman put on glasses and it was like he was having like split personalities, like disassociative. Yeah. But have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
No.
I don't think you would like it. It's maybe not like your type of show. I don't think. It's a really weird show, and even for me, I'm not like. It's a cult. It's a cult show. Like, it's a cult classic. But the thing is I'm totally, like, I just draw so many analogies to this whole story arc with Hangman Page to Twin Peaks. Like, started off really great, but then it just got super weird, and you're like, where the crap is this going? And by the time, like, we figure out the whole quote-unquote mystery, A, it's going to be a letdown, just like Twin Peaks. B, it's like... where do we go once we figured out who?
And here's the whole thing too. Like, I thought the whole reason this thing's been going on this long is because they were going to do Hangman versus Joey Ryan.
I still kind of think we're going to get that
at All In, but it's not. They're doing Hangman and Joey Janela, so it's like.
I sort of have a thing where I think maybe we still end up with Joey Ryan and Hangman, and this is a red herring.
Or what if Joey Ryan costs Hangman the match?
I thought about that too, and I was like, are they going to build to another match a whole year away at like All In 2? That seems kind of crazy, but you know, the whole thing with Twin Peaks, just so you know, it's basically a show where there's like a murder mystery, and it's really weird and like kind of zany. And at first it's like kind of cute and stuff, but then they figure out who the murderer is, but then the show keeps going and it just falls off the rails, and you're like, what is happening to this crap? And like, that's when I'm like, this whole Hangman bit, it's kind of gotten old, and like, I'm not gonna be surprised if one day like they just come on like, Hangman, the bit, it's done. It's ran its course, let's move on. And then that's how they just freaking write it off. Because that's total being the elite style. And like, I'm like, I don't know, like, where do we go from here? Like, this kind of sucks. I've never been a big fan of it, but I kind of got the charm of it in the beginning. You know, the two like legendary dick wrestlers. But now it's just like, kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So
something else I thought was very hilarious. You know, they were trying to encourage Flip in the locker room, and Flip was like, "Man, I need to go talk to Marty." Marty's like, "Flip, I'm right here. I'm holding the camera.
I'm filming.
I've been here the whole time filming."
He's like, "I'm gonna go eat." Anything else on Being the Elite this week? There wasn't.
There's a lot with Nick's birthday celebration. Matt got him a Luigi cake instead of a Mario cake.
Oh yeah.
He's like, Luigi, that's second best. I was kind of hoping for Mario. Who got me this cake? And he's like, oh, we think Matt did. And he's like, oh, happy birthday.
Also, their new book. Their children's book came out, so that's cool. I don't think there's much else on that.
Papa Buck had a couple run-ins.
Yeah.
There was a funny line when they were making the announcement about the 6-man. Papa Buck was like asking them. They were like, he's like, man, you guys haven't even booked your match for All In yet. And then like Nick like whispered in his ear what he wanted. He's like, it's like, we can't tell Dad. He's a mark. He'll tell Meltzer. Let's kayfabe, Dad.
He'll tell Meltzer. That's hilarious. I think that's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, if you are listening to this show and you are going to be at All In and you have tickets that you want to sell for the AAW show on Friday night, or you know somebody that has 2 tickets, I don't care if it's ringside. I don't care if it's general ad. I don't care if it's standing room only, which is what we ended up buying for the Thursday night show. We would like to go to that show. Hook your boys up. If you see somebody online who is selling tickets, send them our way. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Notice I didn't name any fake websites because that's how serious I am about getting tickets. We're not gonna, now we're looking to pay whatever you paid for them. Fair price, but we really want to go to this show. And we're coming out to Chicago all the way there. Like, it would suck to only go to the Thursday night show. Whatever you gotta do. If you're listening and you make this happen, we will do something cool for you. I don't know what it is yet.
But it'll be really cool.
I promise you. So hook your boys up.
Yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you for listening. Next week we'll be back with more G1 Climax 28 coverage. Make sure you connect with us on social media. On Twitter, I'm at Jeremy L. Donovan. The show is at KI Strong Style. Social Suplex is at Social Suplex. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/Social Suplex. You can also find us on the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Wrestling Squared Circle. Make sure to check out the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. One Nation Radio, hosted by Rich Latta. He just dropped a episode interviewing the Doc Chad Matthews about his upcoming book, The Greatest Matches and Rivalries of the WrestleMania Era. I believe that book is coming out this week. Check out that podcast. I talk all about the book. Check out the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show from Scotland, The Outsider's Edge. They just had a kind of a super episode with Rance, Call, Ricky Clive, and Kyle Moores. I'm a little jealous that, all these team up shows are happening and nobody's hit us up to be on one of these, Social Suplex extravaganzas that's happening.
Jealousy.
Oh man,
they're jealous that we get to cover the best wrestling in the entire planet.
Also, we have our independent podcast, Grown Men Watch This Shit, hosted by Chris Bryan and Jeremy Tate. Those guys are doing a great job covering all the wild stuff happening in independent wrestling right now. So yeah, check out all our shows. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating. I want to give a shout out real quick to somebody who left a rating for us.
Yeah, we've been getting some ratings. They've been dope.
4008, he said, Josh and Jeremy do a great job reviewing and analyzing the greatness that is New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's the stuff we want to hear, guys. Give us ratings and reviews for our show, all the shows on the network. So until next time, goodbye and good night. Bang.
Thank you for listening to Keepin' It Strong Style. We'll see you next time.